Ik kan gewoon beginnen of zo. En dan,
Okay, so we're live now. I'll tell them they can start. Okay, you can go ahead and start the game, guys. Thanks for waiting.
Mulligan.
So, hey guys, welcome.
Drop 3.
Welcome to the ENTCG stream. Today I'm
That's
here with
both
Coen,
different climaxes, right?
and I'll
Yes.
turn down Ian's volume
Okay.
again because he's hella loud.
Drop 3 too.
Today I'm here with Coen.
Good.
Different guest every day, I guess. And we'll watch the AOT against Batman Ninja matchup between Ian and Joon, and Elimination Bracket. So before this game really gets started, Koen, what do you think about this matchup? What way do you think it's gonna go?
looking at this matchup, I think things to look at is June's level 0 lineup. So AOT is like obviously an on reverse based deck, so obviously Ian wants to get reverses. And how June built his deck is basically to deny reverses. So I think this matchup will be very interesting. Looking at the game right now, Ian starts off aggressively,
Nice.
fielding
Yeah.
the Krista here,
3.
frontloading for free.
And
So what does this say about the? What does it say about Ian's hand? Is that he basically has another Krista on hand, right?
Yeah, I guess he wouldn't give up his Krista this easily, or he has like everything he needs in hand, but that's kind of unlikely, right?
Yeah. So I think looking at this, what Ian tries to do is playing aggressively so that June gets baited to do his combo first. And if he does his combo first, that means basically that he can't deny the reverses anymore. Yeah, okay, yeah. So June starts off with his combo here, I believe.
But from June's perspective, he kind of wants to slam it right away because he's never gonna get a better chance to get reverses, I guess.
Yeah, that might be true, yeah. So June likes to get reverses before Ian hits level 1, so he can get his early game pluses.
What's kind of interesting about this is that I asked Coen about this just now, but Batman actually has 2 different level 1s that can climb his combo, and one is on reverse draw 2 drop 1, I think, right?
Yeah.
And the other one is just a attack draw 1, and we can actually see June has both of them on the board now, because the middle one is the on attack draw 1, and the one on the side is the on reverse.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know. That's pretty interesting.
Really heavily accelerated right now.
Yellow.
June literally climax combo on his second turn, and both players hit level 1 right now. Ian is gonna clock out a yellow card here. Here we go. Does Ian have his combo on hand? Does he have the wind, and can he pay out the thank you?
If Ian has the wind in hand, he might get a decent lead in this damage race. Because he's at the same damage now, and he already got combo.
Nothing.
Doesn't hit the brainstorm.
Ricky.
There's another Ricky, so you were right about that. He had another Ricky.
Yes.
Just get the payout, the thank you though. Also.
Grab an Aaron.
So,
back.
Going into this matchup, I'd like to. What's really interesting is that June likes to play very aggressively. Looking at the past few matches, and looking at the past few matches, he also tries very hard, like something maybe the characteristic of Batman ninjas, perhaps to drain resources. So like what June likes to do is like play the grappling hook Batman ninja, pulling out cards like back rows to the front and then killing them, right? So you force your opponent to play a low resource game. However, the grappling hook doesn't really do anything against Attack on Titan. So normally how it works is you play the grappling hook, and you can run over it with your Batman ninjas, and also getting a reverse, right?
But the other one is also
against
right now, right?
Attack on Titan, it's always and therefore you cannot get reverses like that. What you can do with the grappling hook, though, is pulling the brainstorm up in front if AOT has an open spot, and then playing I believe tapping 2 to -1k, which kills the brainstorm.
you
That's a possible
You
play.
just have to tap the grappling hook
Okay.
itself. It's just tap self.
Oh, alright.
Tap self -1k.
Go for this.
So Ian's
I think
actually
I
feeling
use no
2
effects.
Armins here.
I think
kinda
this
interesting.
basically indicates that Ian does not have the win in hand.
Yeah.
Play this out.
Does
Did
he?
Did he even mill?
Slam
I don't.
climb
Wait,
out.
he does have the wind, but he doesn't have
Counter
enough
first
errands.
with 2.
So I guess he had 0 errands in hand because he rekeyed to the one he has now.
Got a 1/1 gear.
It's a 1/1 gear. I'm not too sure which gears are in.
Then
I think Ian likes to separate his gears, so I
Front
actually
zero for
think
2.
there's no 1-0
2.
gear in his waiting room right now.
Okay. Oh, that might make sense why he
and frontal again.
do 1 errand. He can play the 1/1 gear to perhaps salvage an errand
3.
if there's one in waiting room, and combo again the next turn. Also, if he bounces the Armin, he can set up like a better decompression,
Yep, go.
potentially.
Draw for turn.
Why is that?
Draw 2.
Because so what a lot of pro players like to do, right, is get clock compression before refresh. And if
Wow.
how many climaxes Ian has in his waiting room, but like if he gets like clock compression,
Right.
and he can play the Armin, it might make a difference in refreshing with clock and without clock.
Did you see that brainstorm though, Coen? He hit
Yeah.
3.
I think this is really good for Joon because like in this matchup you're not too likely to get reverses. Ian salvaging a 1/1 gear means that he can't get a reverse. On the Aaron, neither the Armins. So getting pluses like this though is like really strong.
Oh boy, I have to adjust their volumes. To do that, I have to get out of this camera view for just a second.
So right now Joon's board consists of double on reverse and one of the draw one combo. Does he have the climax though?
Your volume should be lower now.
Okay, Joon has another climax.
Wow.
Uh,
At least, so he put the on attack draw
Yeah, that's the only.
against the Aaron. Hey guys, you might want to lower Jimmy and Coon's sound because I can hear them through June's game.
Wait, really?
No,
What?
it's just a meme.
Oh,
Martin's memeing us. Martin doesn't want to listen to us.
okay. So Joon has 5 cards on hand, which is really good.
Wait, so what's going on with the attack? Because the Aaron didn't bounce, and there's 2 characters turned sideways.
I think. Yeah, I'm not too sure what's attacking what now.
I have them against each other, and I think the Aaron already got a. Maybe he got sided. Ah, I think the Aaron got sided.
Okay.
I think the Aaron got sided, and then he's doing that to prevent the 1/1 gear, so he can't save the Armins. But he can still save an Armin with a 1/1.
Yeah, he can
gear.
still save the Armin here.
He can still save Armin with a 1/1 gear. So yeah, we'll see the 1/1 gear here.
Okay, 1/1 gear. So basically, if he sided the Aaron, it basically means that Ian might get his claw compression actually, which is really good, right? Like this is how you basically set up easy compressions. So we're looking at what Ian's going to discard. One Armin. Just heading for free. Alright, never mind that. I think he actually might not get his claw compression. Oh.
Another swing for 3 though. And this time Ian can 1/0 gear, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So Joon is not getting any reverses with his on reverse Batman Ninjas. Something we expected in this matchup. What Ian needs to do now is to cancel this swing to guarantee his clock compression. If Joon stakes this, it makes Joon it will put Joon in a really good spot, basically. Because like if you look at both players, I think Joon has the better compression right now. Like second deck compression. Okay,
Oof.
Ian does cancel it.
So he keeps
So
his clock compression, which is really
yes.
good for him. He can even clock into 1/6.
Yeah, I believe Ian needs to clock here. Yeah, he does clock. Yeah.
Joon is still, in a way, behind in damage, though.
Joon is behind in damage, but what's weird is that normally you'd expect Joon to be behind in resources, right? Because like his deck is on reverse.
Hmm.
But because of the brainstorm, he's really healthy in card hand size. And what's also odd about this game is that like Joon is actually on like what 5 stock, which is also uncharacteristic, I believe. From judging from the past few games, he is actually often low on stock. Okay, so Ian is tracking his Joon's backups right now.
2 1-0s and 1-2-1.
So Joon is all out of his backups, it seems. So Ian does not have to pay attention to the counters.
He doesn't have to use any pay stock flushing effects yet, Joon. I don't think he
Yeah,
did
aside
much
from the
except for
brainstorm, he hasn't
brainstorm.
used the grappling hook or anything just yet.
So Ian has another wind. That's yikes for Joon.
So both players get double combos, which is pretty high roll, I believe.
Oh right, and Joon, of course, did not keep his clock compression because he actually went to level 2 the last.
Yeah,
turn.
he is a level 2 already. So I'd
So-
say that Joon is behind in damage wise, which is really favorable for AOT because AOT snowballs really hard when they have a damage lead. Just because how the finisher works, basically, right? So let's see if Joon takes this. Ian basically also setting up his double errands here, so he will attack with the other errand next, so he can salvage another gear.
3 1 2.
Take 2. Refresh point.
I'll grab this. Frontal for 2. 3.
Okay, there goes one of Ian's Mikasas. Joon cancels this one. I think what Joon needs to do right now is basically grinding out the game by spamming early play healers, I believe. But what's also really dangerous about like early playing now, or even playing your level 3s now, right, is that Ian can punish it by playing Sashas, which I believe they get bigger than the Catwoman.
I'll pull up the Sasha. How big is the Catwoman?
I think it's like 500 for every water, I believe.
So the Sasha is. Sasha's actually not that big. She doesn't get any.
Catwoman is 10k. Catwoman is 10k.
Sasha doesn't get any power boost, but he can play the 2-1 Armin back row or Brainstorm or whatever or globals.
Yeah.
So there's some ways that Ian
So,
can make the thing bigger.
Judging from this, Ian is in a really favorable position, especially because like Sasha can also
She snipes the back row, right? She snipes
she
the Brainstorm.
snipes a card,
Potentially.
and she can also get like another soul. So if Ian does not have a climax, he still manages to push damage, which is what he wants right now. I don't think Ian has to worry about much about like searching his level, like his finisher combo.
The Sashas can kill the early plays, but if he has like the 2-1 Armin to hexproof, it might actually be better for him to snipe the Brainstorm, since he can just reverse the early play. Because Joon doesn't reach that high of a power, it may be better played to go after his back row. Especially if it's hexproof and Joon can't anti-change the Sasha. That would be pretty good for Ian. So
Joon did have a good refresh though, I believe. So we'll see what he does with his compression. Because like usually players have like two options, either like brainstorm to get selectivity for your end game, basically, or to normal swing. Perhaps if you trigger a climax, you take the plus there. Oh, he does decide to brainstorm here. Probably to sculpt. Oh, he hits two. I believe he is going to sculpt his healers. Oh. Yeah, he does sculpt his healer right now. Maybe what's really unfortunate here is that he hits two off the brainstorm, which sets him a little bit back on the compression game.
Wait, does play the Catwoman early play.
Yeah, he does.
So wait, Ian actually skipped an attack, right? To keep him on 2-5, or
Ian skipped an attack to refresh with his climax because he's so far ahead right now, right? So
yeah.
that he didn't really need to attack. I think that's the logic behind it. Jun swinging for 3. Okay. Oh, and he preserved the cancel there, so it's a really generally
because he also knew the last card in deck, probably.
yeah. I mean, you can technically track that, but like keeping if there are none in your stock and neither in your hand, it should be in your deck, right? And he searched off the gear last turn, so he should know the
Right. Should know what's in his deck.
3-1-2.
Refresh damage.
Refresh is 3-2. I think there's both 3-2 armaments
yeah.
in waiting room now. That's a little awkward for him. But he could possibly 1-1 gear for it if he really wants it.
Cancels.
He cancels this as well.
Wow.
I think the main objective for June here is to push damage or like try to even in damage. I think June's compression is still okay to
How many cards in hand actually?
survive.
Ian considering if he wants to use the 1-1 gear to deny June the plussing.
7 cards in hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
But June has 7 cards in hand? Did he say that?
Guess it doesn't
I believe
matter.
it's 6.
2, right?
I guess it's 7 by the fact that Ian's just letting this.
Okay, so
go
Ian
through.
takes the damage here, which is not the worst spot for June, but the only problem with June being behind right now is that his finisher lineup, his level 3 lineup, doesn't necessarily heal aside the Catwoman, so he really banks on the Quake engine he runs, the event healer. But that event healer doesn't proc if Ian is not on level 3, I believe.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Both players need to be level 3.
I'll pull
So-
up the event. This the event. So if all players are level 3 or higher. Oh,
Wait,
did he just drop
dropped
it?
the event.
Yeah, he dropped it. Well, basically, he's thinking, well, Ian's not gonna hit 3 in the turn I want to use this. So maybe there's no use for this card, I guess.
Yeah, so
Because he's probably gonna want to heal. If he were to heal, he's gonna heal after this turn. But he can't heal after this turn because Ian's level 2.
yeah, that's correct.
Because let's say June hits like 3-3, 3-4, and then he could clock and then heal it all back. But because Ian's actually a level ahead, this is not a line that he can take, so might as well drop it.
So Ian is still clocking on level 2, so I'm not necessarily sure what this means. Maybe he wants to draw climaxes
Maybe he wants to
and
yeah.
slam.
I guess
Because
he's really looking for another wind or something.
Because I feel that Ian does have a reasonable lead. And by clocking, you even yourself, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, normally you would, like, extend the lead. But I'm not too sure what Ian's hand look like right now. Okay, so Ian probably can't contest the Catwoman. He's out 1 Sasha, 1 Mikasa early play, so... Okay, he plays the level 3 Levi. The level 3 Levi actually kills the Catwoman, huh?
3-5.
Ah, that's an interesting out too. So I'll pull up the Levi. The Levi gets 7.5k power and 2.5k base.
Front for 2.
So it's 10k if it's facing level 3.
Yeah,
And
it's
there's
okay
also a
right now.
bounce trigger. But he doesn't need the bounce trigger.
3.
Bounce is a back row. Oh, it's still lower the power on the
That's 12K now, right?
Catwoman? No, it doesn't though.
No, it doesn't.
Why did he bounce the Brainstorm then?
So wait, does this tie? Wait, no. He's five. The
No, he's
Catwoman
stronger.
was 500 strong, right? Oh, yeah,
The Catwoman was 10k and then he back up for 2.5k. And the Levi is probably 12k, depending on yeah.
5-5. Front for 2.
So Joon playing the counter here means that he values the Catwoman being on board.
Another counter.
Okay.
And front for 1. 1.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
5-5.
Joon basically stabilized this whole turn by triple canceling this.
Listen,
Actually,
Coen.
he double canceled this.
Listen, Coen, you don't need to heal down if you're not taking damage.
This is really good for Joon though, because like I said, he doesn't run many healers. He runs like 3 copies of the Catwoman.
Yeah.
And the quick engine is basically dead because like as long as Ian doesn't hit level 3, he cannot play the card. Being on 3-1, however, is a really good. Wait, is it a good sign? It is.
It's a good sign compared to what it could have been, but it's still dangerous against AOT, right?
Yeah, so against AOT, you will likely you kind of want to heal down to 3-0, especially because he's going to most likely gonna take refresh damage after, right?
Yeah. He's playing the Batman Ninja combo.
I think like how much stock does Ian have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so Ian has 7 stock, which is like what 5 burns, I believe, if he has triple Picasso.
You can play 3 and then you can burn 2 on reverse. Yeah.
Yeah, so
it's
Ian
5
has
burns.
5 burns for 1.
He gets 3 reversals.
Yeah.
I believe what Joon wants to do here is actually pushing damage, I believe.
But I'm not sure.
Because like Ian is out 4.
18, yeah.
Okay, so Ian's compression is 4 and 18 for what we know, which is pretty decent, I believe. Joon could potentially go for the finisher, or put AOT in a spot where he can set up a 2-turn kill, because AOT is not a really a deck that heals down as well, right? So like Ian has to opt for either finishing or healing down, and I think it's more likely for him to choose for the finishing option. But that also depends on like if he finds a tank you off the top or not.
No. So the Batman Ninja, it can restand at the end of its attack. You can pay the cost by paying 3 stock and discarding a weapon character. So it's not reliant on reversing or anything. There's nothing you can do about this restand.
Just for clarification, Jimmy, the Batman Ninja is in front of the Aaron, right? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So
Now
there's
his
one
side
thing
options
with
too,
this
right?
play is that Joon might have to side the Aaron first, or he could actually, yeah, he could
can
do the
just
other
direct.
attack first. But
Yeah.
like basically, if he were to front the Aaron first, Ian could play a gear, and then make Joon overswing on the next attack,
Right.
which is something
Oh.
Joon doesn't necessarily want.
Oh,
Okay,
Ian
so-
takes the 4. That's pretty big. Swings for 5.
Right.
There's no
So-
way. Right? Right?
That's
Oh my. Ian perfect
Good cancel
canceling.
5 though. This is a front for 4.
So Ian can opt the gear here. And then he makes it the next attack a direct.
Okay.
Which is probably what's going to happen, right?
Okay, so Ian gears here, but would you move away?
I think you move away because even if this sticks, I think this is a hit for 4, right?
Yeah, 4.
So he overswings. on the direct attack.
Yeah.
So, and it also keeps the soul buff, even though Ian's moving away on the next attack. So on the next attack, it's hitting for 5, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
So yeah, I guess you do move away since it's pretty huge overswing,
4.
and it's unlikely that he'll stick the 5. But
Yeah,
Ian does eat
so-
the 4.
Ian does eat the 4, which is really good for Batman Ninja right now.
4.
What you could potentially do here is try to snipe out the thank yous from Ian's deck. However, looking at his grave right now, he has 2 wins, 2 thank yous, and 1 win in stock,
Do you
which
think?
means he has 2 thank yous in deck, I think.
Do you think Ian is hoarding one?
Potentially.
Because, he's taking a lot of damage for if we assume all the climaxes are still in.
I mean, he had 4 in 18, right? So I think it's like reasonable to stick some damage.
Yeah, but Joon's already stick 7, and there's still an attack coming. But I guess, yeah, you're right.
I think Joon is still thinking about the restand here.
But there could still be 3 climaxes in deck if Ian's not hoarding anything. Because we know there's 1 in stock, but we don't know about the other 3.
I can't actually see, but does Joon have 1 card in deck? I believe so.
I think so, yeah.
Okay,
So-
so
He's actually not gonna refresh with his climax if he chooses to restand here. So
what Joon could do here
it's not attack.
is
Not
restand here and pass. So he refreshed with 2 climax more because I believe he triggered
He
triggered
triggered
the climax
pants.
with the
Yeah, he
first
triggered
attack.
pants.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. So just
if
paying out.
if he decides to restand here, he has two stock, and it's enough to play like a healer or anything. Okay, he decides to pass here.
He doesn't.
not restand.
He doesn't do the thing you said where he pays out the other one, but maybe he has some use for this stock in the next turn. Does
Maybe
refresh with the
Quick Engine?
climax he played.
Question mark?
I think he already passed another Quake engine in his waiting room when he did the check top 3.
The problem with him restanding here is not restanding here is that he refreshes basically with 1 less climax. I think restanding here might have been good because Ian is on 3-4, potentially 3-5 after refresh damage, which is decent for a 2-turn kill, right?
On the Batman Ninja and
However, Ian decides not to
10 on the other one.
June decides not to restand.
Cool.
You do put 3 non-climaxes back into waiting room if you do
I
restand,
think
because you have to
costs-
discard a character.
Let me pull up the cost real quick.
And the cost is pay 3, discard a character.
Yeah, so June would potentially decompress 4 cards.
But one of them, yeah.
With one of them being a climax. I think it might have been worth to restand here, but I could be wrong.
Ian,
Anyway,
Ian skipped his clock. That's interesting.
I believe
Do you think Ian can survive another turn?
no, I don't think so.
So, if that's the case, would you have clocked?
I don't think he really needs to clock if he have all the cards in hand already, right?
I guess he
I
was
mean,
for-
this basically indicates that he already has a thank you on hand.
Well, he has to have it because he drew 2 cards and he drew 1 for
Yeah.
turn, and we don't know where the thank yous are. And there's only 1 card in deck, so there could only be 1 thank you left in deck. So he has to have it at this point.
I think Ian does not have the third Mikasa though.
I think he paid out 1 just now, and
Yeah.
then I guess maybe he's still missing the last one.
7, 5,
So that's unfortunate for him if he doesn't have the last one.
13, 5.
Does he still have a gear? A 1-0 gear? Because if he had a 1-0 gear still, he could have clocked and then searched the next deck, right? But
Yeah.
I guess he doesn't have a... Oh,
What
okay.
I really like about not clocking here is that like I think a great man once told me that like perfect games usually end up with like 0 stock, 0 hand, and whatever. It basically means that you use your resources well in that game, right? Like you build up enough resources and you spend enough resources to to have an optimal game, right?
Yeah.
So he like not clocking here is fine.
So Ian plays the third Mikasa that he salvaged with the gear.
Listen to thank yous. Want to check
Uh,
anything?
Missing 2 thank yous. So he's holding 2 of them.
Ian has 4 pinks now on board.
He already dropped the wind with the 1/1 Omni. So he actually drew to a lot of climaxes, I guess. So they were just bottom stacked. Either that or he had a lot of climaxes and Joon was actually hitting a really, really uncompressed deck. Which would be pretty scary if you're Ian. But yeah, he has 4 burns now.
1, 2, 3.
Joon still has the refresh. So Joon is effectively 3-2.
3-1-2.
I'm not sure how many climaxes Joon is out, but potentially the burn is also a free damage.
Okay, I do think Ian has to finish this game basically because like I believe he's pretty dead if he does not close out this game.
Yeah.
However, Triple Mikasa has like insane odds, honestly.
I
So
think triple Mikasa is pretty insane against Joon, who's 3-2.
like four pings, and June is basically like 3-2 right now.
And Joon is
it's,
also
uh,
not
pretty
refreshing
scary.
perfectly because we know there's the climax in his stock.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. Probably will choose not to assign any soul here because he doesn't get any side options and he probably doesn't want to swing for too much. Yeah, he gets the back row soul.
Yeah.
So he's gonna hit 2-2-2 and 1-1-1-1. 1.
Yeah, 1-2-1, 1-2-1.
Yeah, gonna hit 4 1s and 3 2s. So
So-
the burn sticks. So June is 3-3.
He fronts
So-
the Grot. Grot doesn't need to bounce because like Ian does not have the stock to burn here.
Right, I'll pull up that card. It's the Grod. If it gets fronted, you can bounce it.
What might be interesting here is wait, no. Playing with open deck lists, like the advantage of playing with open deck lists is basically that you kind of know if your opponent can play like counters, like if he can counter over your lane here, right? So Ian, like the Mikasa's like what 12-5? In a closed deck list, going into Batman Ninja, you wouldn't know if the set had like a 3K counter or something like that, right?
Hmm.
But the fact that like it's an open list is that like Ian can plan ahead and like not have to worry about like counters.
Want to bounce?
Probably won't choose to bounce here since there's no on reverse, like you said.
The only thing what bounce does here is giving him like an extra card in hand, I believe.
I won't trigger.
Oh, he
cancels
does
for
cancel.
2. That's really good for June.
2 more to go, actually. No, three.
Taking.
Wait, no.
Oh, that's not
Oh.
good though. He wanted to cancel the swing, not the burn,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah, so
Okay.
now he takes the swing. Ian does get the on reverse burn.
Oh.
Ooh, now
Okay,
it's a
okay.
close
That's
one.
fine.
Now he can take the burn, but he can't take the swing.
That's
For 2?
doable though. Doable.
Ah,
Okay. never mind.
okay.
Okay.
It was really hard to survive, but he almost made it.
Yeah.
And if he made it, Ian was pretty dead.
So looking at this matchup, what would June do to turn this game around? Because like in this game, I feel like the game was like super heavily accelerated, which is something maybe characteristic to this tournament. Because I do feel like a lot of games are really high paced. People try field. People don't hesitate on like try fielding. Do you think it's because like the
What do you
stakes
think
are
that
lower,
is?
or they like to take more risks?
Uh,
Because like Ian, me knowing Ian, him making this aggressive play is also quite uncharacteristic of him. He usually plays a little bit more reserved,
right.
but maybe he realized that the matchup, like because June is playing aggressive, he might as well play aggressive as well.
Do you think Ian played really, really aggressive? I don't think he played unnaturally over aggressive. I think
132.
there were some tri-fields, but they were all cleaning up a lot of June's characters.
I mean, his early game play made a lot of sense because like if you open like that, it means like your hand is like set. You're good to go, right? Like,
Right.
but normally you would think like, hey, maybe June can like play cards that deny my reverses, right? So maybe you would play a little bit more reserved. I don't know, to like bait out all those cards first. But who knows?
Maybe the Krista Armand field was a little
June clocking his
uncharacteristic.
level 1 combo here.
Probably means he has more of them.
Yeah, I believe
Definitely.
so.
Or
He only
which
mulliganed
one,
2 cards, so
which one did he clock? Is it the on reverse or the on attack? Because
it's
the
the
on attack is probably more valuable in this game. I
okay.
think he
So
clocked the on reverse.
June opens a Ricky here. Directing for 2 in the middle spot.
And he wants to put it in the middle spot, right? Because
Yeah.
if
So for the
if
people who don't know, AOT plays a middle runner, so it's really good to put your cards in the middle because then they can make use of the Armin runner.
right, because now if Ian only had the Armin runner, for example, he's forced to put it in middle, and then it can't run away anymore.
4.
But in this
Another
case,
4.
Ian has 2 runners.
Go ahead.
But if
Okay,
Ian
so-
misses the Mikasa mill run, he still can't run
Yeah.
anywhere. So it's still possibly making things a little awkward for Ian. There's actually 2 level 1 combos in this clock now, Coen. 2 of the Batman ancient armors.
Maybe, I mean,
Well, he took 1 in damage, so you can't
Yeah,
do
yeah.
anything about that, but
so it's gonna mill 2, fill up his waiting room, and then Ricky here. Yeah, Ricky.
is salvage Ricky or yeah. What's awkward about Rickying here is that he doesn't actually have the combo pieces in his grave yet.
Yeah,
Waiting
and he
room yet.
doesn't necessarily have good targets either. I think he has another Ricky in waiting room.
But he's kind of forced the Ricky to keep up this card advantage game against Attack on Titan, I guess.
Yeah.
He can't rely on the reverses like he said in game 1. It's a little awkward that those ancient look the same, so I can't tell which one is in the damage.
I think it's unlikely for June to clock the draw one,
No,
the non-reverse one,
yeah,
because I feel like
yeah.
that card has more value in this matchup.
The draw
so
one should be the best one. So
Yeah.
if he had multiple, he would clock the on reverse one probably. But I can't tell exactly, but I actually think the second damage is the on draw one. Because if you look at
Yeah,
it, the text
they
box
look
is
a little
smaller.
bit different. Yeah,
The text
yeah.
box is smaller, so I actually think Joon got unlucky here and he got the on attack draw one in his damage.
Okay,
But he
so
takes back another Riki, so maybe next turn he can Riki again and get it back.
mhm.
Or well, we'll see what he does with it.
I think June is a little bit hesitant on like taking the Ricky. Something June isn't really afraid to do is Rickying on level 1.
That's the
Uh,
JC.
Personally, for me, I wouldn't really do that because like
Cool.
I don't really like to take a lot of damage.
Mm.
But Jun sure has shown that like he doesn't fear or mind the damage on level 1 just to keep up his card advantage.
So here's a card I don't think we saw last game.
Okay, so
now there's 2 copies.
Jun basically has his full I'm gonna deny your reverses board.
Yeah, this is really
For
cool.
people who are unfamiliar, Jimmy, could you put up the middle
Yeah.
card?
Yeah, I put up the middle card before you said that already.
So Jun's board consists of the Grodd and the Batman JC right now.
The
And this
clan of
basically
Haida.
means that if Ian decides to do his Aaron combo, he might not get reverses. So it basically denies it denies the combo by 1 turn.
Right, so this this middle character can sack itself and bounce something else if it's being front attacked, as long as it's a Batman. And then I'll pull up the Grodd as well. And the Grodd basically can bounce if it gets fronted. And then you can put up to 1 Batman infiltration on the board. But you probably won't because the Batman infiltration is 6/5. And Aaron is, with climax combo, most likely going to be like 7 or 7-5.
Do you think,
So you might blank bounce it.
because June runs the infiltration as a one-off, right? Do you think he has it on hand? That'd be pretty interesting, right?
But like I said, even if he has it and he puts it against the combo Aaron, it's gonna die, right? But if he puts it against the Armin, the 1-0 Armin, it might survive actually.
Maybe Ian underestimates the one, because personally, I wouldn't really respect the out here, because like the odd of having him having the card is so low, but I think it's really strong actually to do that here.
It's pretty funny to put one of them in an open deck list format, right? So now you can say, well, I have one in my deck. So you can like pose the threat that you have it. Maybe the other person looking at your deck list, like, oh, he has one copy, so he might have it. And then there's some mind games beginning, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of interesting.
What's also really interesting about the Grodd actually is that like it's, I believe, pay one, bounce itself to hand.
Yeah.
So basically, if Ian fronts it, June can bounce it back to hand, and if June attacks with it into an Aaron, Ian basically has to let it crash, because else it just basically bounces to hand again, right?
Yeah. So that's really good for June because it's like a pay 1/1, but it also denies Ian's combo. So it's a pretty cool card in this matchup. Ian's still fielding zeros. No, and that's over.
I think Ian wants to force the back row Batman, because obviously the card cannot sack itself, so it has to sack the other one.
Note that I think June cannot bounce the middle character because it's not actually a Batman.
Wait, it's not?
No, it's a bat.
Oh.
It's a bat clan.
Oh,
Bat
no.
clan. So that's
Okay,
why
okay.
you don't
Yeah.
see June bouncing it here, but he does
I see,
bounce
I see.
the
Yeah.
the Grodd.
Yeah, that's a mistake on my side.
So yeah, Ian will get his reverse here.
I think what's really cool about this deck, basically, like Batman is surely an unconventional pick, so a lot of players don't prepare for it, but I feel that this deck has proven to be better than everyone expected it to be. That's for sure.
So is it then kind of unlucky that he's playing this in an open deck list format?
Yeah, I believe so.
So, because if he took this to BCS, nobody sees this coming, right? And
Yeah,
nobody
it's-
knows what's in the deck, so then they get confused
Yeah,
and
because
they
like
don't know
let's
what
be
to
real,
prepare for or respect.
who prepares for Batman Ninja?
Shaking my head, commentators not knowing the Batman lore. Shaking my head.
I mean, I just want to love anime, man. Just leave me alone.
Duke, you're also anime man. You should know this. Okay, so did Ricky survive? Got sighted?
The Ricky survived.
That Ricky is a Batman,
I
by
think
the
he
way.
sacked the Batman. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
think he sacked the Bat Clan thingy, right? Wait, no, huh? No, he sacked the Bat thing for the Grot? Or not? Wait, the Grot can actually bounce itself. Never mind, sorry. I think Ian did cite the level 0, but I'm not sure why.
I don't think he replayed the 0. I think that was there. I was looking at the deck list for a second. Why would you side here? Did he side?
I'm not sure. Can the chat help out?
Chat, help us. Did Ian side this Batman? The Sengoku Batman? I also open the YouTube page to read the live chat, which is faster. Adventure Time is animated. Oh no. Oh no, Corn. We triggered the discussion whether stuff is anime or not. Okay, so chat is saying he sided.
Okay.
But why would you side here? That's kind of interesting.
Maybe because the Batman is weak, he wants to get the reverse on that. Because, like, basically, he has a plus right here, right?
In a future turn, you mean?
Yeah. So maybe this indicates Ian has another win.
Prevent Ricky reuse. I think he already has another Ricky in hand. Aside from the one that's on board. Adventure Time is anime.
I mean, yeah.
Godzilla's anime too. Oh no, we done did it. Okay, so back to this game. Joon's shooting this Batman back in time.
Joon actually gets his claw compression in this game,
Oh,
I believe, which is really good. Okay, Joon slams the climax here to push first deck damage.
it's interesting that he would slam this now because this is actually the combo climax.
I think he just wants to refresh with the climax, and
Yeah.
playing aggressively in first deck is quite rewarding.
All
in
right,
terms of, like,
he did brainstorm, right? But
yeah.
maybe he tried to get the combo piece, but he couldn't. Take his Ricky with Ricky. So, if what you said is correct, then Ian will Omni here, and he actually will. That's interesting. I want to ask Ian about that after the game, I guess.
But yeah, what I would like to highlight here is that Joon is making use of the Ian's first deck compression, and usually your first deck compression is really, really bad, right, compared to your second deck. So basically, Joon is getting that damage in right now.
Ooh, Ian dropped a thank you
For 2.
on the Omni.
Cancelled.
Ian
Oh
cancels.
my. Ian's disgusting.
I think Joon is deciding to front here. Okay, Ian is out 4 climaxes, and Joon is deciding here to front or side, I believe. Because if he fronts here and hits a trigger, it's really good. But he also takes more damage in return.
Because Ian will let it crash. Yeah.
Yeah.
1.
Okay.
Just side.
Joon sides and hits a trigger.
So now he
He
sides
does
for
not
2.
salvage for the thing. Okay, so
Climax and waiting room.
Kind of unfortunate that he triggers that climax there.
yeah.
So,
Ian being on 1/6 though means that he won't get his claw compression, I believe.
yeah, if he decides to
Because
block.
his deck looks pretty big right now. And he does not have a brainstorm right now.
Yeah, he has to basically spam like 1-0 armaments or something to get through this. But it's gonna minus him if he does that. With that deck size. Or, well, it's looking like at least, what would you
So
say,
it looks
12?
like I'm not sure. It's really tough for me to estimate the cards with Ultra Pro sleeves, I believe. Or Cape sleeves, I don't know.
Okay. Well,
But I think like Joon is pretty much in control of this game right now.
he's
Looking
nice
at the
damage
board
lead.
states.
I do love damage.
The only problem that I could see for Joon right now is that like he might run out of resources, as in hand size, because
Right.
like in this matchup you're pretty much reliant on your the JC, so the middle card of Joon's board, the Ricky and the Catwoman.
I've pulled back the JC. So, is Ian debating whether he's clocking or did he already skip his clock? No, he
I
does
think he's
clock.
debating on the clock here.
He does
Yeah, so he
clock.
does clock here because I think he realizes he can't get his clock compression here, so might as well clock to draw the win.
Or like a way to mill his deck if he doesn't have it.
Yeah.
Because his deck is. I don't think his deck is compressed even now. But we'll have to see. If Ian has wind though, there's a lot of juicy reverses here. At least two, because one's gonna get protected by the JC does have to brainstorm.
Brainstorming here.
It's the
Maybe he drew
brainstorm.
the brainstorm here? Wait, didn't he trigger a climax last turn though? So there might be actually a climax here that he pays out with the 2-1 here? Or not?
Did he trigger last turn?
I don't know. It's hard for me to actually commentate and focus on the game at the same time.
It's harder, right?
I'm sorry, chat. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Especially since my screen is like kind of mirrored and I have them next to to each other instead of like
Yeah.
uh
For you, it's even more awkward because you have
Yeah.
to think about where the cards are. So yeah, clocking also lets him play the 2-1 if he wants to. Doesn't.
So Ian brainstorms again. I think this basically indicates that Ian is pretty much all out, actually.
Yeah.
He just wants to rush his second decompression.
He's not even.
Ian has 4 cards in the deck right now.
Yeah.
Which
So-
basically means that he can attack 3 times and mill the last card off his deck if he
Mikasa
wants
runner.
to. But it also depends on how many climaxes he has in waiting room, because I believe I didn't see that he had like 7 or something.
I think there's around 6 right now. So
Yeah, so there might be a climax in his deck.
maybe he did expect to hit the brainstorm another time, but it feels like Ian has a wind in hand. So then we're just debating where the last one is, I guess.
2-1.
Does play the 2-1 Armin in the end?
Yeah, okay,
He
so
did
he
pay
did
out,
trigger.
thank you.
See?
Okay.
Got him.
Got him. This massive minusing.
Okay, so I think Ian has a win here.
He has
is-
to have a win here, right?
Yeah, he does.
Wait,
he
but
does.
why isn't he? Whoa, Ian.
Whoa, no takebacks.
Whoa, no takebacks.
Like, Ian's basically cheating right now, but like apparently Joon lets him do that.
No,
so
When he was so fast, the
Yeah.
climax never hit the mat.
Go first.
It's not a takeback.
Wanna use this?
Oh, what? More takebacks? Ian?
I think Ian is playing a
He's
little bit
waiting
too
for
fast
the.
right
No, Ian's waiting for the. Do you want to use your JC card? But he doesn't.
Okay. Oh, Joon with the cancels.
June didn't bounce.
Sorry, Omega.
That's interesting.
Oh, he can still bounce the other card, right? The
Oh right, maybe the Riki is more valuable
Yeah.
to him.
he does
Yeah,
bounce
okay.
the other card though.
Just bounce the Riki.
Okay, so what's really good about Ian's play right here is that like he basically refreshes
And he's now
space guarantees his refresh. And depending on what his last card in deck is,
he can
he
mill it.
might not even mill.
Yeah. If it's still a climax in deck, he can choose to just not mill. And if it's not a climax, then he mills away your damage for free. So that's cool. But yeah, June is ahead a lot in damage this game.
Yeah. Something AOT doesn't really like to see. Ian is out 3
7.
wins, so that might actually mean that his last card is a climax.
Yeah, so
Or he has another one in his hand. But that's pretty high roll, I believe.
that'd be pretty. Yeah, we'll see by the mill decision. But he might be hoarding it. I mean, haven't you seen those games where Ian slams win 3 turns in a row and his opponent cries?
Can you tell me which climaxes you're not?
Those are pretty fantastic games, Coen.
Okay, so Ian is tracking June's climax spread. June is missing a book in his waiting room, so he might have another climax combo actually.
The gate out just now with the.
Yeah, okay, so Ian asked June if June paid out the climax with the JC, and June is basically concealing the information because like Ian should have like paid attention to that, honestly.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, he basically shrugged.
Nice try, Ian. Nice try.
Yeah. This
Nice
is something you
try.
really should have paid attention to, honestly. If you're
Nice try. Well, he's not obligated to tell him.
Yeah, true.
He's only obligated
Yeah.
to tell him the open information.
I think it's fair. Yeah.
Ian
Uh,
seems kind of tilted. This
going
is
back
from Mr. Nando.
Yeah, maybe he is. Dude, something AOT definitely doesn't really want to do is like grinding out games because like his level 3 lineup is like mainly designed to close out games rather than like healing down. Healing down costs Ian to drop cards from its hand with the Crystal Healer. So it's really tough to do both at the same time. So definitely Joon is in control in this game. Joon also hitting a brainstorm, grabbing up the Catwoman so he can extend his lead and grind out his games. I believe Joon is on like 8 hand size from the top of my head. Let's see if he has another combo. Okay, so
There's the JC, the bounce something else.
oh
There's another.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah, okay, so this is like what we talked about last game is that Joon isn't afraid to Riki on level 1, something a lot of players don't really like to do, but Joon sure shows he doesn't mind it. Just to keep up in card advantage, basically. Um, I think Joon wants to contest the Aaron here just to push out damage rather than going for the reverse, I think.
it's kind of
That's if
interesting.
he has a climax on hand.
Ah,
But he did clock the oh wait, no. Never mind.
I don't think Ian has the. Wait, does Ian have the 1/1 Omni? I think Ian paid out a 1/1 Omni, so he should have a 1/1 Omni. I forgot which Omni he salvaged with the Aaron.
Okay, so oh wait, the other Aaron doesn't even have bounce,
Yeah,
actually.
because that's what I was
Yeah.
talking about. So now I'm wondering which Omni Ian took, because if he took the 1/1, then he can deny the reverse on the Aaron. But if he didn't take the 1/1, he's basically no way of denying that one.
Ian also milling his last card of his deck indicates that he didn't have a wind in deck,
So he has it
which
in hand.
basically means that he has the wind in hand.
Yeah.
Sorry, no wind in deck and wind in hand. Sorry.
It's middle first. Okay, so
Ian actually has early play condition in his clock.
that's pretty cool.
I think that might be relevant if Ian does not have a wind in hand and it's somehow in stock, because like then he can dig for another wind.
Now Joon siding again on the Aaron. What do you think about what do you think about siding the Aaron here?
Wait, he fronted the Aaron. This Aaron.
No, I mean the one that
other
could
one?
bounce.
I think what Joon wants to do here is keeping his hand healthy, right? Like he wants to stay even in resources right now, and siding like he already basically Joon already has like a damage lead, right?
Mhm.
So why front if you can side and like plus here? Because it's not like Ian is like mad decompress and it's like guaranteed to hit damage here. So like trading 1 damage for a plus might be okay here.
Do you think it was a misplay from Ian not salvaging the 1/1? Because he seemingly doesn't have it, or else he probably denied this reverse on the Batman.
Uh,
'Cause it would have also saved his Aaron, and we're assuming he has a wind in hand.
Ian is also playing on like a low econ game, I believe. Like his stock is like 4. He has 4 stock. This is what, like turn 4, 5? I don't know. He also didn't really have like good targets to salvage, so maybe he wanted to keep to hold and keep his options for later. Ian decides to clock here. I'm pretty sure Ian's hand is pretty garbage right now.
But that way
assuming
he
clocked
he,
here.
he loses the errand on board. And if he bounced it to hand, then you would have had the errand to play this turn at least.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because the salvage target doesn't really matter, because he could have dropped the salvage target again.
He might want to have it to deny future or like set up future deck states, right?
Hmm. Well, but if we're assuming he has the wind, he could have gotten it back this turn. Because Joon can only bounce one. He can only deny one reverse off of Ian.
What, by the way, what I really like about Joon's play here with the JC is that like he always keeps up pressure, right? Like he always has the bouncer on board, which makes Ian think about his turns. Because like, so it's not your casual unga bunga, I'm gonna tri-field slam climax and hope he eats, right? Like Ian always basically has to like Joon mind games Ian thinking whether he's gonna bounce or not, which makes the game a little bit more interesting because there are like more interactions going on, right?
Yeah. It's pretty cool. Actually, if Ian doesn't have 3 errands, he can only get 1 reverse. Right? Because June can just bounce the lane
Yeah.
opposite the second errand. So it has to
Mhm.
be 3 errands. Else there's only 1 reverse on the JC itself.
By the way, another thing what I would like to point out in this game, right,
Wait,
is that
what? Wouldn't you? Oh, okay. So he's gonna get his 1 reverse either way.
yeah,
And possibly he saves the brainstorm with this.
Yeah.
Because if okay, I see what happened. So now June has to decide when he's using his JC to bounce, and either
okay, so
way, his
this
brainstorm is
here.
gonna live. Actually,
Yeah.
forces a direct lane attack.
So Ian decides to basically try and catch up on damage, which is respectable. Ian does get 1 reverse here.
Yeah. Well,
2,
the max
okay.
June could deny was 1. So yeah, now Ian gets this direct attack with the brainstorm, which possibly gets him back in the game damage-wise, but June just cancels it.
Okay, so what I wanted to point out here is that June still has the Grodd on board, and the Grodd is actually really good because like
You can
June
also
entering
deny.
his turn can kick Ian to level 3, and that Grodd into the brainstorm lane is basically a 100% reverse denial, so he can't get burned on that lane. I think what June wants to do here as well is to heal down with the Catwoman. I believe. Wait, what's the condition? 4 board, right? Let me pull up the card real quick. Yeah, so the Catwoman is an early play that can be played on 4 or more board. So I believe he's gonna heal down and stabilize here and extend the damage gap between the two. It's really hard for Ian to close out the game when June is like what 2-2.
2-3.
If
But yeah.
yeah, but like if June decides to heal down, he'll be on 2-2.
Yeah.
Uh,
So June through good play has tried to limit Ian's reverses, and maybe even force some bad errand placements, and then being able to capitalize by reversing the errand. Actually,
June actually decided to clock in this turn, which I'm not too entirely sure why. I believe June is always clocking to draw climaxes. I think that's the only reason to do that. Because like against AOT is really scary to um clock yourself because like there's AOT excels basically in closing out games, right? So I believe June wants to June clock to draw a climax to perhaps push more damage. I think that's the only reason why what I can think of.
Joon thinking about his self target here. Because he did
Okay.
get the
Ian is
brainstorm.
only
Yeah.
Ian is only out three climaxes. Out three climaxes. Ian has a pretty reasonable deck size.
But we did see Ian change.
Yeah.
And it's likely that he took a thank you with it. Well, I don't know how likely it is, but I think he took a thank you with it.
How many cards did he check? Do you remember?
No, I don't remember.
Okay.
Rod here.
So I think it's almost guaranteed that Ian will save the brainstorm here. Ian gearing in a big deck size is actually quite good for him because, like, as you see, Ian barely had he didn't even have any Mikasas out in his waiting room. So basically, if he gears, he can always search his Mikasas out.
Why would Ian take thank you when he top decks it when he needs it?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad, Nando. My bad. Alright, so chat's saying he checks 4 on Armin.
Okay.
So
So he might
maybe
actually
he
have a
missed.
thank you on hand.
So maybe he missed it even. Because he only could check 4.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
only had 4 characters.
I think that usually indicates that he's either digging something or his compression is kind of bad.
Yeah.
Uh,
We did see the Catwoman come out in June healing down to 2-3, which
What-
is a little tricky for AOT to finish.
so June decides to front here first for 2. I think what a potential play could have been was fronting the other targets first. Because if he fronts the other targets first, there's a chance that he can knock the Mikasas into Ian's clock, which is pretty funny. But not too likely.
That's assuming that Ian would always use his Omni to save the brainstorm, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's true.
But I think he would. Because the middle one can bounce, and he probably wants the brainstorm over the Aaron at this point.
Wait, what? Oh, Ian disconnected.
Oh no!
Hear me now?
Oh, he's back.
Ask how many climaxes you're out.
Oh
Okay.
no. Is my poor stream okay?
Uh,
I think it should be fine again in a few seconds.
yeah, the stream is okay.
Okay, Ian taking 2. Not taking 2. Didn't Omni though. Huh.
4.
Didn't Omni though. Oh, June's triggering pants. So that's a little awkward maybe. He does take the climax. He's not scared
Yeah.
of dying here. I mean 2-3 or basically 2-4 is pretty hard to finish from, I guess. So June basically saying, well, try to finish me or I'm gonna combo you.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
I think that's also like a little bit more unconventional because like what I usually see from other people is they don't clock, they don't take the climax off the pants. So basically they hope they cancel next turn or like they basically hope they don't die next turn, right? Like you're 2-3. What are the odds of dying here, right? So if you don't take the climax, you're more likely to cancel. And I mean,
Thank you.
Ian's probably not gonna cancel a lot, so you usually should be able to close out the game in 2 turns.
Wow.
Okay, Ian does cancel this one.
But there's a Mikasa there. That he cancelled. So you might see a limit on how many Mikasas he can find, but
In hindsight, salvaging the climax might have been correct here if Ian lands on 2-3. 3-2, sorry.
No clock.
Because June does need the climax to close out the game, I guess.
I think when he triggered the climax, Ian was already like 2-5 or 3-0 or 2-6 or 2-0. So and he still had 2 attacks. including the triggered attack. So I guess.
I think another line of players do is they don't salvage it, and then in their next deck they will play like, cause like the Batman Ninja, the restander, I think it digs on play. I think it checks 3 cards or something like that. So what normal players would do, I think, is they play the card, they clock, check if they can draw the card or not, and then play the Batman Ninja, which is technically 5 cards.
Cards in deck.
Also a reasonable odd actually to find the card, I think. But then again, if they whiff and they don't find the card, then it might be really difficult to close out the game. Ian showcasing AOT's finishing board right now. Like I said, AOT isn't really a deck that heals down, so he might stick to this damage actually, which is pretty scary, IMO.
So I don't think Ian can finish him. And if we're saying that, how likely is it that Ian dies next turn?
He might take refresh damage, right? And I maybe is thinking about playing a Krista here. I'm not too sure. He does. Oh,
Wow.
he's not a burner here. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Going for it.
So
So maybe Ian doesn't have the Krista healer, or maybe Ian's also thinking, well, Joon has the climax next turn, and I'm gonna go to 3/3 because I'm gonna refresh.
Ian
So-
wants to. Ian is basically setting up his refresh here.
Maybe Ian is going for it, but
So in the next turn,
10K,
Joon only needs to do 4 damage.
5.
That's if Ian survive. That's if Joon survives this turn.
so once again, there's 5 burns here. Is that true? Yeah, that's true, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Ian does have to assign soul here because there's a large amount of damage he needs to do, as opposed to last time. I think last time he did this, Joon was 3-0 or 3-1?
Yeah, 3-1, I think. So
Yeah,
he did
so
all.
this time he has to assign soul.
So
And Flex here first because this is the lane that Joon can deny the refers on.
Burn 1.
Joon needs to take the burns and cancel the swings, basically.
Wanna bounce? Okay. That's
Joon does not bounce because, well, Ian's gonna
I
get
think-
only 2 reverses either way.
Yeah, and those are guaranteed.
Ooh,
Cancel on the last card, which is really, really good.
It's
Does
a
Ian
little
still have
awkward.
lethal?
He doesn't refresh with that one though.
Yeah, so
so
Joon
we-
only refreshes with 5 climaxes, I believe.
Yeah, that's a bit awkward.
But
But he did already cancel a swing of 3, so
yeah,
now there's 1 burn left here. So there's 4 burns left. And a swing of 2 and a swing of 3. So if he takes all of that, assuming no triggers, then he dies. Right? But if he doesn't take all of that, if he cancels like 1 swing, he's actually already alive.
does Ian have a climax in deck?
Because he fielded the Mikasa,
Yeah.
I may think he does. Maybe leaving up.
Ooh.
Maybe leaving open the option to mill the last card in his deck, but Joon now took a refresh damage climax.
Okay, Ian burns 1 here.
So now there's 3 burns left and 2-3 in swings. So there's 8 damage. 8 damage is exactly enough to kill Joon. But so assuming Ian doesn't trigger, if Joon cancels anything, he lives. Ian attacking in middle here first, so he gets the side option if he wants to. Joon does take the damage here.
Great.
Ooh, takes
It's getting really, really close right now.
So now, what Joon wants to do is not cancel the burn
Okay.
and cancel the swing.
4. Okay.
4.
1, 2, 3. Cancel.
Oh,
Okay.
so he's alive. So now
We're in
Ian
this.
can decide to burn one, but it doesn't do much. Doesn't deny Joon from clocking. So he chooses not to burn.
I wonder how
2, 3, 4,
scared you would be
7.
after
Well-
taking like
Joon lives if he cancels one thing if Ian didn't trigger, but Ian triggered in middle
It's a wind missing.
and he took that. So
okay, Ian is missing a wind. So
that
there might
means-
actually be a wind in Ian's deck right now.
I changed it slightly, I guess. But 4 Omnis.
I wonder if it matters a lot or not, because like it's decided at the start of the battle phase, right? So there are no tricky side attacks or whatever. June only has 3 stock to work with work with something. So
Alright, he only has 3 stock. So he can only field one of his finishers. And then he still needs to pay 3 with the finisher, so he can't do much else. He can only spend 1 additional stock.
okay, so he plays the Battle Ninja here, the restander.
He already has the climax, so maybe he's looking to something to field, or maybe a counter even, or something that allows him to bounce and deny a Mikasa reverse on the next turn, if there is a next turn.
What's really tough right now is that the game is kind of far from over, because like if June does not finish this turn right, Ian's board will actually survive, right? Which is really, really scary, because like if he top attacks another thank you, you're basically dead, right?
Yeah, because he
But,
can
like-
only kill one thing with the Batman.
Yeah, he can only kill one of them.
So the
So
Batman's gonna hit, assuming he full fields, it hits 11k. And then it can kill only the Mikasa that's not protected by the Armin.
so
Oh wait, he's gonna slam
the
climax, so he
brainstorm
can kill
here?
any of them. But okay, so he did brainstorm.
I think the fact that he brainstormed means that he is setting up another, like setting up a refresh, maybe. Mhm.
Mills gives
Okay.
power, I think, right?
Mhm.
So the Ricky he played gives the Batman 1500. I don't think he needed the 1500, but yeah, you know, that's the only lane that is gonna win, so might as well buff it.
For what we know right now, right, is that June does have the restander climax in his hand, right?
Yeah, he does have it because he solves it with the pants.
So I think June is thinking about like how to finish Ian this turn, or potentially how to live another turn.
I think maybe he was looking for one of those bounce things. So he could possibly deny on reverse burn, but I'm not sure what else he. Wait.
Does Ian have the 1/1?
Wait, does June not have playables? Wait, that's not
He
possible.
does. Yeah, he has the brainstorm
He has
in
the
back row.
brainstorm.
He has to attack with the brainstorm, because like if he does not attack with the brainstorm, it means he can't restand.
Yeah, because he doesn't get enough stock.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why he was holding a card that looked to be the climax there.
He's not thinking on playing a climax, right? To survive. Like
There's no reason to do 2 attack meta here. There's really no reason.
Maybe he believes he can survive another turn, but I believe that's really risky.
Oh,
Okay,
okay,
he
just
does not.
shields.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
more power. This Batman is now 14k or something.
Okay. I think he did it to ensure his refresh. I'm not too sure
He
actually,
didn't.
because like
He's milled through a couple of his own climaxes now. Wait. Yeah, that is the correct climax. So it crashes.
I think Joon will not refresh with his climax actually, which is unfortunate.
No. I said I'm milling for the mill runner.
It's a little weird that he decided to
1, 2, 3.
mill that hard, right? Then, because he could have just fronted the brainstorm or something.
Maybe because like he only had one climax in deck, and like he doesn't want to leave free damage, in his deck.
Okay.
It was kind of risky.
No, he milled one of his. He milled one of his climaxes with the secondary key.
So two damage sticks. Oh, are we gonna get a game?
Ooh.
How many cards?
The problem with this is that the Batman restander always overswings, right? But you know,
Yeah, but
lethal.
yeah, okay. Round one. Joon is not gonna refresh with his climax. Not going for
It's
2.
for 2. This is also lethal though.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Joon takes games 2.
Well, we don't need Batman.
Even though Joon had like a really big lead in this game, right?
Yeah.
I felt like if I were in that position, I'd still be like really, really scared because like he kept clocking, and made the game really, really close, which it didn't have to be, in my opinion. So
Well, maybe that's something to ask him about.
Yeah, but going into Game 3, what are your predictions on Game 3, and what do you think that needs to be changed for either player to take the win here?
Game 3 is new territory for me, Coen. I only commentate 2-0s.
I see. Oh shit. Okay.
But, you know.
Oh, I think they are taking a bathroom break. So.
You also want to take one?
Yeah, I like to talk about the game a little bit, but I also really gotta go. So give me a moment. Right back.
Just me and chat. Oh, if you have any questions you want to ask the players later, you can type them in chat, and then I'll note them and I'll ask them after the game. Where is UA with the Batman cases now? UA is about to offer his Batman cases for double the price they were. If Joon takes this game off Ian. Is this Joon reverse sweet power? Oh no. Yeah, I'm covering for Kun now because he's playing Maple Story, obviously. He loves Maple Story. Can you ask Ian why is he losing so much? Sure, Ryan, I'll ask that for you. Because I'm curious about that too, to be honest. Ian's really hungry this tournament. In the game against Patrick, he actually had a 87.5% chance to finish Patrick in game 3, but he didn't. So Ian really loves losing this tournament. Maybe he has an interesting answer. Ask Ian how much UA paid him to throw games to Batman. You got it. How much?
Yo, Jimmy, back. Hello, me?
Hello.
Hi.
There's some interesting questions in the chat.
I see. Oh, did you tell them about the post game?
Yeah, I told them they can ask questions in chat, so we can ask the players later. But of course, we get beautiful questions like Ryan asked why Ian is losing so much.
Yeah, what's really surprising, right, is that if you go into a tournament and you'll see Batman Ninja, you'll be like, lol, this game is fucking free, right? But the fact that this game, that this tournament is a best of 3, right, makes it really interesting because like maybe player skill is like more important in a best of 3 format, Question mark? Question mark? It looks from the looks of it, it looks like the games can go either way right now. What I like to see in game 3 from June perhaps is to keep playing aggressively, but perhaps clocking a little bit less because like I do feel like that last game was really really close, like way too close.
The clocking near the end, right?
Yeah, but then again, I don't really play Batman Ninja, so I don't know how well it keeps up in damage or all that kind of stuff, right? Maybe it he has to, but I definitely feel he didn't.
I think he also rekeyed on level 1, which we usually don't see.
Yeah. What I like to see from Ian though is what do we like to see from AOT?
We hate seeing AOT. Ian's gonna
Yeah,
lose.
AOT
Ian,
so...
get out of here. Ian, get out of this tournament.
I feel like AOT is so streamlined, so like hard to say what Ian needs to do.
For you, 2, 3, 1.
Like even though like last game was pretty high roll, I believe. It's like Ian had like what triple win or quad win, so he always had resources, but he kept clocking as well.
But June was playing well in that he limited the amount of reverses Ian could get, even though he got the weed
Yeah,
slammed.
that's true. That's true.
Weed slammed every turn.
Something like Batman is really strong in that regard.
Oh, Ian Mo 5. But that's a pretty bad hand. The only debatable thing is the Riki, but you want the wind. You really, really want the wind.
Okay, so looking at Ian's mulligan, it basically means his hand was fucking shit. So he
Trash.
pulled back.
But
Looking
now
at June's mulligan though,
he's mulling his level 1, but it's the unreversed one.
Yeah, I think that indicates either that he has one in hand, or that he's not committing to the reverses and rather focusing on the level 0 game to deny rather than go for own pluses.
It's basically saying, well, I can't guarantee that I get any reverses against this deck. So
Finally,
maybe oh, Miltsy. Wow, Trifield.
yeah,
That's really aggressive.
Really aggressive here.
I like it. I like it. I do love damage, Coen. I love damage.
Yeah. What I want to say about this matchup though is that what I see a lot of players do, right, in this matchup specifically, is playing really slowly. They play slowly because like, oh, I don't want to feed reverses to Aaron or whatever. But then they don't really have the proper tools to deny Aaron anyways.
Wow.
So it's pointless.
Ian's double canceling already. Wow. Well, he would have liked not to cancel that one because I think he would have liked that win. And doesn't mind the 1 damage there. So Ian's out 2 wins and a thank you now. We might see an awkward 0 game depending on Ian's hand. Can Ian even clean up all of these zeros? Does he have enough zeros?
AOT usually runs a low count of level 0s.
If he has a
like,
rekey, it fixes everything. Okay, so now he can choose to get a level 0. Which is the other rekey? Is that the only 0? I think the other rekey might be the other 0. Only 0 there. But at least he can clean up June's board now. But
the problem with this is that
now June could get a level 1 reverse turn, possibly, depending on how damage goes. And also, Ian's committing a lot of characters, and they probably are gonna die next turn.
The fact that June started this aggressively, wait.
He
The fact
bounced.
that June has this board means that he can play really aggressively because like the middle slot and the Grot bounces both back to hand, so that's pretty strong. Oh, he cited the last card.
Right, what we forgot to mention about that playing aggressively, I guess, is that that third attack is kind of free. Because he can spend the stock to bounce it, if he wants to. So the third attack is kind of free for him, and it's pretty cool. Enables him to play this aggressively without getting too far behind in terms of cards. How does June get enough power to reverse all of these, though?
I mean, Do you really care about reversing those cards?
I mean, maybe not, but probably don't want to give Ian free pluses.
Perhaps. Maybe June has like Climax on hand. And if not, it's not the end of the world, I guess. These are kind of technically low quality pluses for whatever it's worth. Because like the crystals are
Yep.
actually worthless on board. Aside from being like a body that attacks, I guess.
Yeah, that's kind of a nice card to feel. That card gives power to something else on attack.
Yes.
So now we can reverse a Krista. But doing so will leave Ian a lot of free reverses on this board. And now June basically has to think, did Ian really get the win with the Mull 5? Because he's out 2. It's a little bit of a mind game here.
Is this stream lagging or is June's hand frozen? Okay, never mind. Holy,
No. He was just sitting there. He was sitting there thinking about life, Coen.
that's pretty spooky.
He's just thinking about life. Sometimes you need to calm down, Coen.
2 win from thank you.
Asking about how many wins are in the waiting room.
Yeah. So it basically means that he's wondering.
Really,
if
would
he
you
reached the goal or
would
not.
you really say Ian has a win? I don't think Ian has a win.
Turn 2? I believe it was like 50% ish to have it.
I
He
don't
also
think
moved
has it.
5, so who knows?
I don't think he has it. So the question is, does June think Ian has it? And if he does that change his play? Oh, it's the decoy, the Grot Bouncer. Ooh, so possibly he crashes the Riki and then he buffs the Grot Bouncer. Because he can deny reverse with the Grot Bouncer anyways. So that's the one you want to keep alive, if anything.
Can he possibly tile lane here? He can't, right?
No, but he can make the Grot the only surviving lane.
Yeah, okay.
Tying would be really good though.
Personally, like I said, I would personally prefer to not
slam?
crash.
Oh, he's gonna
Maybe
slam!
Oh, he's gonna slam.
Okay, so now middle ties. Oh, okay. He's going over with the Riki.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe June here calling Ian on his bluff, like, show me the win. I don't believe you have the win. Show me you have it. Because he's leaving up reverses
Oh,
for
he
you.
even gets rewarded for this.
Wow, okay.
I really like this play. Because, like, not only does June kill Ian's board, right? It means that, like, basically, if Ian doesn't have the wind, he has to commit, like, new characters. So he doesn't get free pluses. It does a lot to this game state. And he's, like, really ahead in damage right now.
So yeah, June is daring Ian. Show me the win or you're behind a lot.
Yeah.
But that's really cool.
Really, really cool play by June.
But Coen, it's just slamming climax. No, it's this one was pretty cool. There's some thought behind
Bro,
it.
he denied a +3. He forces Ian to commit new characters, and it's not like he even managed to crash middle slot, so he can only get like 1+ from a win, which is really strong.
Yeah, because
like this game turned over to June's favor by like a big amount.
That was a huge turn for June. So now we'll see. If Ian gets the win, he only gets 1 reverse, which is kind of sad, but I guess it's okay. Oh, there's Aaron. Chooses not to mill further. So his compression is good, I guess?
Compression is good, I think.
Stops the Omni, which he might salvage later.
Did Ian clock this turn?
I'm not sure.
I'm actually sorry that I can't pay attention to this minor things.
Yeah, this is harder than you thought, huh, Coen?
It was so fast, dude.
Ian is so good, he does have the win.
Okay, but he's only going to get
But
one.
even in this best case scenario for Ian, he only gets one reverse.
Yeah,
Because Joon's gonna say, let me get this out of here.
yeah. It's basically pay 1+1 kind of, cause like the card was gonna die anyway.
Hey Coen, you know what's cool? If he had the Batman infiltration, this was a crash. Or this was a
Oh,
tie.
shit. I mean, I probably wouldn't let him tie. I feel like tying is kind of bad, right?
Yeah, it's kind of bad, but it's kind of interesting that this actually was possible.
Yeah.
Because usually it's not.
So in terms of damage, they're quite even right now. I believe Ian is quite compressed, but he only needs to take a single 2 to miss out on clock compression. Joon actually hit a pants last turn, so it does mean that he has a book right now.
Yeah, he
to
got the
combo.
book back. Oh, that's nice. But there's Omni.
The takebacks.
Oh,
The takebacks.
oh my goodness.
The takebacks.
Kun, if you were in this tournament, this take back wouldn't have happened, right?
No takebacks.
No take backs.
Okay, so Joon a little bit too fast on playing the Ricky. I wonder if it does changes.
Nah, he does play the Ricky in the end.
Does he Ricky here? Yeah, he does.
Oh, Joon is aggressive.
I think he Riki'd here mainly because he didn't have a stock out for that climax. Or he wants to even grab a brainstorm.
If he has the 5k combo Batman, that would be pretty cool too.
I think he wants a brainstorm here though. I'm pretty sure he wants a brainstorm. If he has a brainstorm here, he guarantees clock compression, and I think if he doesn't, then he
That's the on reverse one. Huh. Basically, Joon saying, you only have one on me, right, Ian? Right, Ian?
I didn't hear them track the armies though, I think. So
I'll pull up the Batman one more time.
is this a climax? Oh, the Grodd? I think the Grodd is here to
Ooh.
not overhand size.
Ooh.
1k1.
So Joon might get this reverse on the second Batman, depending on whether Ian has the second Omni.
6.
And even if Ian Omni's one, it's the 1/1, I believe, that he salvaged. So
I
he's
think
gonna
Ian
pay a
has like
stock.
what? 4 in sight. Sight for 1.
Side
Okay.
for one, okay.
Okay, the side is maybe the side is okay because like he doesn't. So Ian doesn't compress his deck even further, but he does play the gear here on the middle slot, which is good, right? He forces out the gear on the middle slot.
Oh, this also means Ian has the second gear, because he salvaged the 1/1 gear. I'm pretty sure. So he can actually deny both of the Batman reverses if he wants to.
2, 1, 3.
Dropping a Krista. Not
But-
dropping a climax here probably means he's pretty compressed.
Ooh. Do you think this also means that the fact that Ian has another wind?
Ooh, not a pants trigger though.
Does this mean Ian has another wind in hand?
That would be pretty disgusting if he cancelled with 2 wins and has the other 2.
No fact.
But he might have it or he might draw into it.
Joon decides to not grab a climax off the pants.
Maybe
Hitting for the frontaled
How
here.
many cards in hand? 3?
he only has 3 cards in hand. Joon. So Ian's saying, okay, if you only have 3, I'm gonna keep you low on hand. I'm gonna deny this reverse. Not taking the climax. What do you think about not taking the climax with the pants? I guess maybe it cost him too much. Compression wise?
I think like taking a climax is just I mean, you get a plus, but it hurts your future deck compression. So it's like really like you have to assess if it's worth it or not.
And maybe it's possible that the next deck is already the last deck, I guess, for June.
Okay.
Because there's no brainstorm right now, which means he doesn't have that high of a deck speed, unless he like jams 3 keys. But
Hope my background noise is not too bad because like my little brother's home.
Just tell your little brother not to be a monkey, Coen.
Yeah, kappa.
So June might not might refresh with his clock actually here, because I think he has more than one card in deck.
Yeah, tell me how many backups you have in grave and climaxes.
4 climaxes.
4 climaxes in waiting room. We know he just triggered one.
Backups.
Wow.
210,
Did he pay out the earlier pants?
Okay.
I lost Coen. He's in a faraway land. Goodbye, Coen. You will be missed. So Ian Brainstorms here and hits 2. Okay. Now we also know where that wind is.
Just the 2.
So that means Ian does not have the last wind in hand.
It's in brainstorm.
And it also means he won't get a wind this
10
turn.
climaxes.
But
Okay, sorry, I'm back now.
hello.
6 in waiting room?
Yeah.
So Ian actually brainstormed here and revealed the last win. So he doesn't have the last win.
Okay.
And he's also refreshing without these climaxes here. That's kind of weird, but maybe something he was forced to do. If he had a 1-0 arm in here, that would have been so beautiful. Because he would have refreshed with these climaxes, but yeah, guess he didn't have it.
2, 3.
2, 3, 1.
So the question is,
Or maybe
Wait.
he expected to cancel with these.
2.
Oh. But theoretically, he should have had an option to take a 1-1 arm in, 1-0 arm in. It's kind of weird. Maybe he wanted to draw into the climax without clocking. Not sure what happened here. Okay, takes the early play Mikasa, but he won't have condition for the early play Mikasa, right?
no, he does not.
So that's kind of weird to take it then.
Maybe he is preparing to have the high roll factor because, like, if Ian feels like he's in control of this game, he might as well just extend the lead by, maybe digging for another wind. The card can also be used at like level 3 or something as a thank you digger, right?
Yeah, but I think to do that job, the 3-2 armin is kind of preferred slightly, right?
And 1 over.
Because it has a change option.
What?
Yeah, that's true.
And it buffs
But maybe he
power.
doesn't have the
Early
change
play Mikasa,
package
1
on
over.
hand.
Okay.
That's possible. Or maybe he just wants that front body. It's pretty strong.
I don't think June has like answers to that card either, right? Except the
2, 3.
But he
Is
can't
it?
feel it this turn. That's what makes it awkward.
Yeah, but Ian technically already established his board, right? He has a
Hello.
Armin plus Aaron. If Ian doesn't have a climax here, June might actually counter over his lanes. The Batman hits what, 7k?
And another Aaron.
Maybe 6.5 actually. Let me double check.
This Aaron to 7k will be 9k.
Okay, so the
And attack phase.
Batman Ninja has 5k right now, so it hits 6.5.
2
Wins.
No bounce.
No bounce. 2. Okay, Jun takes this one. Does not get his clock compression for his second deck. Uh, June leveling his Quake engine.
So it's not okay.
That's swag, dude. That's just swag.
I think this indicates that he is more than likely to cut that card actually, because like I've never seen him actually
So
play that card, I think.
1,
Did he play it against you?
3.
No, he didn't play it against me.
Hmm.
I think that card actually doesn't
Coen, listen, you don't need to
hit
heal when
some
your
stuff.
opponent's dead.
I mean,
And also, because he plays aggressive, it's
yeah.
more likely that in the games he wins, he's ahead in damage, right? So he doesn't actually want to heal.
Yeah, maybe.
And because he's like offensively oriented.
He doesn't really necessarily have the resources for it to sustain that card as well, I
Let me
guess.
pull it up. How much does it cost? 4 stock?
4 stock, I believe.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Right.
Yeah, 2 here.
And then Joon for 3.
Swing for 3.
Still picking.
Countering that lane.
Counters effect. Start 2.
Oh,
Cancel.
yikes.
What happened?
Wait, but this means that June
Wait.
has no climaxes in no more hand size.
5.
Yikes.
Wait, what happened?
He played a 2-1 counter, the anti-change one, and he discarded 2 climaxes.
Wow.
Uh,
That's really, really tragic.
Is that 08 out?
But I guess it's something he had to do.
Okay, and how many?
Because he's not gonna play them, right? He needs playables,
mean,
not climaxes.
at this point, it's really awkward, right? Because like he technically only has 2 cards right now.
Wait, did his 2-1 counter not save lane?
No,
Oh, that's
did not.
that's tragic then. That's really tragic.
I feel like that play was way too greedy.
Give me a second here.
You mean the counter, or
Yeah, the counter. Because like it puts him in a situation where he has no cards to play. Like obviously the climax aren't playables either, right? But the counter was technically like a playable or whatever. He basically has to like scrap for playables right now.
oh, that's a really.
He can also
terrible-
have like he can potentially only have like 1 attacker next turn, for example, which is really bad.
This is really, really bad. This
The only,
fight.
the
Oh,
only-
yeah?
The only way to salvage this game is like probably to stock encore. The
No encore. Drop the 10.
no encore. So even if this is a playable, he has to clock this, and then draw into 2 playables for cards. He cannot
So-
early play. He cannot plus off any early plays because he doesn't have full board. So I think this is an int. I don't know.
Oh man, I guess this is the possible downside for playing this aggressively. Not having enough cards, and now being forced to do something like this. I think this is basically already a 99 GG, right? That's really, really
This
rough.
game is really rough right now.
This is
like-
really, really rough.
What if June clocks here and draws into 2 non-playables?
What do you think this card is that he's thinking so long about when he wants a clock?
Maybe this is a restander? I don't know.
It seems like the only way back is to clock, right?
The thing is that like even though if he clocks and like draws 2 cards here,
If he loses them again next turn, it's even more
yeah,
tragic.
he's definitely gonna lose them next turn, right?
Yeah.
Especially since like Ian established his early play Armin Changer right now.
Mhm.
So those cards like middle is 7k, Aaron's what, 6-5? The Grot can't contest any of these cards, so definitely a rough spot.
So actually, I wonder, thinking back, when he triggered that pounce that didn't take a climax, how many climaxes he was already holding in hand? Wow, it takes a Riki. Okay. So that's another way to guarantee a playable, I guess.
Oh,
Also taking damage, but
okay,
now
so
he
this
guarantees a playable.
this play basically guarantees the playables, so it's pretty respectable, I believe.
I guess that's why he was thinking so long on it.
Is this the card he wants to grab?
Now he
Okay.
mills.
I'm not
Choosing-
too sure if milling here
He has to
is
mill, I
correct.
think.
Oh, is it
Tell
mandatory
you
mill?
exactly what's in your hand.
Yeah, it's mandatory mill.
Okay, okay.
But at least he did the Riki effect first so he could salvage.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it's mandatory mill. It's also pretty yikes for him. Because that was a clean trigger on bottom. At least. But
So
but
what does Batman Ninja need to do here to
so
come back?
like you said, even now that he has 3 playables, he's gonna lose the 3 playables. He's possibly crashing 2 of them this turn.
Yeah.
Or like siding, and if he sides, he's also not helping his damage case. And he's still losing his character, so yeah. I think the only thing that can happen is that he draws the Batman Ninja, assuming he's level 3 next turn, which can then chain into more cards, right? With the check top 3, and then add 1, and that's like the only way he can get cards back. And then maybe getting some kind of combo, but
I think it doesn't matter though.
Going back to the counterplay, right?
That's a
When
5 now. Okay.
do you think it would be correct to salvage off the pants trigger if you were to do like a play like that, like play the counter and like just literally -3 right there?
yeah.
Because that at that point, right, you have like 1 playable, and I guess it will make your refresh like worse by 1 climax, but at least you have 1 more card in hand.
And those cards are really precious right now. He's crashing all his lane.
Yeah.
And the Batman Ninja actually only ties with the Aaron here on the side because it gets 500 for every back row character. But
Yeah.
because he's so low on resources, he can't afford to have a back row character. So it only ties to Aaron, and Ian just says, sure. Well, you rarely see a trade into an Aaron like that.
I think the only winning play here is literally by playing like chaining Batman Ninjas, the restander one, because the
that's what I
restander
said,
one
right?
pluses.
The
Yeah.
only way is he gets Batman and checks into more cards that he needs. Maybe even
Like-
Batman into combo or something, but because he does have stock, he just doesn't
Yeah.
have cards.
Uh,
I guess it really hurt this game that he doesn't have the Brainstorm.
yeah.
Because
But this is something he could have done earlier, right? Because like when he played the Ricky early game, right? I was thinking to Ricky to a brainstorm. I'm not sure if he had it in waiting room or not. But I think if he had one in waiting room, it would be definitely be correct to salvage it.
what did he do instead? I think he Ricky to Trifield, right? Something
Yeah.
like that.
I think so.
So yeah.
Um,
June's probably going to level 3 here. Which he kind of wants. Seems to be his only out, but he's probably gonna go to 3-1 or 3-2, and then he's probably forced to clock as well. If he doesn't find like the Batman Ninja off the draw immediately. And that will probably be his last turn then. Because Ian's getting like free reign to set up his finishing turn, basically.
yeah. You know what's also pretty sad? He had to side with the Grot to maybe have an attacker next turn. But what if he like it still doesn't guarantee anything, right? Because like Ian's gonna kill it again, and then what's Joon gonna do next, right? Like he can never really front with the Grot to do damage
Here now.
Yeah.
if he cares about the plus.
But
So
at
he,
least,
like it literally does nothing.
yeah.
It does something
just
when
a-
he hits a trigger or hits a climax, so he can like plus maybe.
Yeah. At least it's kind of free in that he gets the card back by paying the stock that he gained by attacking. But yeah, if he keeps siding into level 1s, it doesn't do any damage and doesn't do anything. But it's something you have to try at least. Maybe a trigger. But Ian searching that level 3 Mikasa. Ian has like free reign to get like 5 million reverses.
2.
Except for the Grodd lane, I guess.
Search 1.
But he can get like triple Mikasa and pay all the reverses if it keeps going like this.
I think Ian is going to his second.
Wow, he might bully that Grodd,
Yeah.
but he can't right now, actually. But he in the next turn he might bully the Grodd.
2. 1, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, that would be so toxic, dude. What did the Grodd do wrong, man? His life is like meaningless. That's so sad.
Early play.
Wow, he has
Like,
early
Ian-
play condition too. I forgot
Ooh.
about that.
4.
I forgot
so-
about that.
I think Ian wasn't really compressed last turn, but because like
Because Joon has no reason. Oh, thank you
Yeah.
going away.
I think that's all. Like 1, 2.
looking at this play in hindsight though, maybe salvaging a climax off the what's it called? Off the pants might have been good because like then he had one extra card. And maybe he could punish Ian's bad compression, who knows?
Ian can't
Right?
play the Ian. Yeah,
Last one is in here.
so that's really really sad. This is like a
Like-
tragic turn for Joon.
7 cards in hand.
I think like at that point, if you punished the bad compression, at least you're progressing or processing the game state. Because it looks pretty frozen right now.
Basically, this turn for Ian is just how easy can I make my finisher turn next turn?
2.
Oh,
Direct. 3.
Probably wants to cancel this. Although he kind of does want to hit level 3, but he probably will anyways.
okay. Ian hits 2-4 after refresh, and I think he refreshes with 8. 8, I believe. Pretty decent compression because like his hand size looks pretty big.
Did you see if Ian refreshed 7 or 8?
No.
Because I think he dropped the Mikasa thank you on purpose with the check top 5.
Yeah, that's possible. Because like
He's just playing for compression. He's just playing to not die.
Yeah.
Because this
Because,
game
like, at this
only
point, you're
lost
getting-
if he eats. For no
you're
reason.
getting free damage already because like Jun has open lanes, right?
Yeah.
So you don't need to -1 to push damage.
No, but I meant maybe hoarding the thank you.
Side attacks this one. Hey, why would you cite this?
Go ahead.
Drop a turn.
I'm not sure. Oh, maybe making sure he can't clock it?
Huh. Sure.
Because he could have clocked it to get a level 3 or something, right?
That's
Which is
true, that's
more
true.
valuable. And it doesn't matter damage wise.
Oh!
Oh! Got the Batman though! Got the Batman though!
Interesting.
Batman hit the Batman?
If he
Ba-
lost,
oh.
right? Oh!
Oh! What's this?
Oh
What's
shit!
I'm just screaming now. What's this?
Good shit.
The Butler? Oh, it's the Bond! Oh, more Batmans! Oh, damn, June's good. June is good!
So he basically turned around his no hand size with like 1 card. That's pretty sick.
This is basically the only out we gave him, right?
Yeah.
But he got him. He
So,
got him.
Right now we're witnessing June playing to his outs. I think he learned this from Ian.
I think Ian is starting to sweat right now.
Yeah.
Ian's like, wait,
Can't believe Ian is dead right now.
I can't believe Ian lost this game. Oh no.
June showcasing why NA is a better region, I guess.
Oh damn. Hey Coen,
How big is Mikasa?
Huh?
you should. Can you ask UA for me for Batman cases? Cause they're gonna go up after this game.
Yeah, I think so. So if anyone wants to buy Batman cases, hit us up.
Yeah, can you put me through to UA? I want to buy all his cases.
Can't believe Ian's dead.
How many climaxes are you have now?
2 attack mana.
I can't believe Ian is dead. Did he play the other Batman too? Yeah, he did.
He did. But I think he's debating on like saving it to the back row.
Why is there such a weird line at the top of the Bond card?
I'm not too sure.
You see like the horizontal card, the horizontal line? It's so weird.
Yeah.
I thought his card was like damaged or something, but it's literally on the card
Yeah,
damage.
it's just a card.
It's actually part of the card because I pulled it up on the card browser.
Did Joon draw the climax here? Even if Joon draws the climax here,
He can't.
think-
He can afford to double restand.
it's hexproof. I think this tap gives the hexproof, right?
Yeah.
Oh, hexproof and 2k.
Extra
So that card is
2K.
big.
That's pretty good. This is like almost the perfect draw you could have had. If only he has climax now, but it doesn't seem like it.
Front. 12-5 for 2.
12-5 frontal 2. So AOT doesn't really play backups aside from the gear, so
So
Okay.
actually, that's pretty nice that he gets the Mikasa.
I think if Joon manages to stick some damage here, he might be back in the game actually.
For 2.
Fronts for 2.
Assuming he would cancel next turn.
Cancel.
Okay. So it's looking like Ian's gonna go into his Mikasa turn next turn.
Front for 1.
And then Jun has to survive from 3-1 essentially. I think he's close to refreshing.
Do you think
Cancel should
Ian
thank you.
might greed another turn? Because like he has a pretty decent compression, right? He has like 6 in what? 6 in not too sure what, 6 in 25, I believe. If he has 6 in 25, do you level up here and try to finish?
If you can somehow clean these Batmans, I guess you don't have to try and finish him.
Because like I think June is actually pretty compressed as well still, right? I think did he triple cancel last turn or double cancel? And he
But I-
literally just refreshed, I believe. So
I think fielding the Mikasas might not be too bad though, because they can reverse the Batmans and he can probably save them with Omni.
yeah, sure.
So if then he has to overplay, obviously. But
Yeah.
I think that's not too bad.
So the Batman Ninjas are 10k now.
Correct.
But Jun can clock Encore. I mean stock Encore though.
Yeah. Maybe it's okay to
Oh, Sasha, you might snipe the 0.
oh
Or
So level
yeah, he's
Two.
sniping the 0, I guess.
it's like the back row.
Goodbye, Alfred. You were a good butler.
95.
So Ian decides to not clock to level 3 to finish.
I guess having the Sasha allows him to not clock and still maybe clean up the Batman.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good for you.
I think Ian wants to
Oh!
skip back a bit.
Oh, that's good. That's so good. That ties the Batman Ninja, right?
How strong is Batman Ninja right now?
No, Batman Ninja's 9-5. It gets over the Batman Ninja.
Yeah.
Because the snipe hit.
Fronts for
If
1.
the snipe didn't, well, if he didn't have the Sasha, then the Batman was 10k. But
What do you think? Oh, okay. Ooh, okay.
oh, that's not good for June. So, like you said, Ian is slow playing this this turn.
And
Wow,
Yeah.
but he still might kill him.
Two.
Okay.
Two. Okay.
The pants, we didn't want that anyway. He's probably gonna encore
So
one, if not both, of his Batmans.
I think June is actually pretty dead next turn.
Yeah, this is it.
So
This
I
is
think this
it.
is like a do or die thing.
This is it, baby. Do you
Because, like-
encore one or both, Coen?
I think you should encore both.
2 to 1.
I think.
I guess. He also took the.
But I don't
another
think he has the
Batman in
climax, so
damage?
that's a problem. And one Batman Ninja is in his clock. So
Oh, all-
he needs something that digs the climax.
He's all 4 Batmans out. There's 2 Batmans in clock.
If June does not have the climax,
June,
this
Joon, give us some spectacle at the end. Joon, I believe. I can't believe Ian is dead.
What if June has the other Batman? That's restats. Wait, even
Okay, he's stuck on course 1.
He's stuck on core 1. It's pay free, drop 1.
He has the clock
So yeah.
because he needs cards to discard at least, and like
Potentially the counter
attackers.
as well.
He also needs attackers, so maybe it was actually debatable to
11-5 on the Sasha, right?
to field to encore both for the Batman,
And then Levi's
even though you only can get the ability of one.
It's 2-5 base.
Just
but
have the
this
body,
has
but-
Batman Ninjas across from it.
Oy, oy, oy. What
The
can
Levi,
June
by the
do?
way,
He
is
gets
still
power
10
cross turns. Yeah, gets
Yeah.
power cross turns. As long
As long
it's
as it's facing a level 3, it's actually
yeah,
really strong.
I'm
like
pulling
10K.
it up. It can cock block this Batman Ninja if there's no climax.
I mean, you still attack the middle slot, right? I think that's the only play. June has 2 cards in hand, I believe.
Yeah, and maybe they're both good cards because he's thinking a long time about which one he's clocking, and he's like 100% clocking, right?
Okay, what if you don't clock? And what if you just crash your board into Ian's board? If that's even possible. I don't know if Ian has the 1-1 gear or not. But what if you crash your board
No, the 1-1
and
gears in
maybe go for the
damage.
sack play?
The 1-1 gears in damage, so he can't deny all the reverses. But that sounds risky as fuck, though.
Because, like, if June crashes board, right, and Ian does not present a thank you, he can maybe survive another turn.
But he's not that healthy. He's gonna be 3-5 after refresh.
Yeah, I mean, but, like, if you crash your board, you just have to swing in open lanes, I guess.
Yeah, I guess, but
So, like, which play has more, like, has a better payout? Either, like, try to finish, because, like, Ian is pretty compressed, right?
yeah, I
Try
think
to
Ian's
finish
pretty compressed.
in a compressed state, or take another slow turn and try to turtle.
I can't believe Ian is dead. I wonder if he has access to getting the climax if he clocks. Because I'm not sure how many are in his waiting room right now.
Right, someone pointed out in chat that Ian is playing around the event, which is possible. But then again, if Jung were to play the event, he doesn't have like resources to do so because it costs him a lot of stock, and that's another playable loss.
Yeah, so
So yeah.
June's still thinking about whether he wants to clock here.
Hand size? Hand size?
6.
6?
Okay.
June is rubbing his soul trigger for damage. Did you see that?
Pray.
Pray!
1-1's still here, by the way.
Yeah, yeah.
Ian pointing out that the 1-1 is in his clock.
Yeah,
Don't
nice
get
guy.
cocky, kid! Don't get cocky, kid!
Ian is shifting the focus to the 1-1 counter to distract June.
From the fact that he's gonna cancel everything.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So really, really
You do 1, 2, 3.
hard turn. Like tough decisions. Which one has a better payout?
2, 2, 2.
I think June is debating on finishing or calculating how much damage she would take next turn, but
I don't think Ian's deck is big enough for him to die, actually, now that I think about it. I think it's almost impossible to take 7 in that deck. I think there's at least 5 climaxes in there, right? Ian doesn't need green because the Levi is level 0.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's also the only green card in his deck.
About it's
Cancel
technically
all 8
possible.
climaxes, easy. Let's see. Do I just go for
June's
that?
saying Ian's holding all climaxes,
Guaranteed
which is
4
possible.
attacks. Guaranteed 4 attacks, or leave the option to cancel
June out of tournament soon. Oh no.
Okay. Alright. And then no, this is 2-5 base. This is 3K in center, right?
Yeah, 3K in center.
The fact that June is touching his level 3 means that he's not clocking, I guess.
Okay. Try this. If I do this.
Ian's only playing one off of the Levi
10,
in his deck.
5.
It only gets the power when it's facing a level
Oh
3.
no, this doesn't send. Okay.
So if you field anything else, it dies pretty easily.
Just for the record, does this mean you're not clocking, or are you still considering?
Oh, right.
Oh,
Take backs.
take back! Oh my goodness!
If I do that.
I can already imagine Coen with
Ian,
his
good guy.
sunglasses. Coen would have said, "Hey, you moved the Batman, my dude.
Ian, good guy, dude.
You moved the Batman, my dude. There's no takebacks."
First the Riki, now this.
Ian's trying to farm good karma to not die.
Alright,
Ian is smart.
And
Oh,
dude,
June
June is-
clocks after being baited by Ian into clocking.
Oh, that's fine. It's a hard turn.
Okay, so I
okay,
think June basically decided to go for the
He's
finisher.
going for it.
Um,
Ricky?
I'm playing mill 2.
Or this is one fancy ass way to scoop.
That's P1.
uh,
Uh,
Oh, I guess with this play, like.
oh right, it gets a character back.
Oh no. Yeah, no, I can still
But-
technically live next turn.
Does he have enough cards in there?
I knew.
You can burn me 7 times. You can attack me 7 times.
But you're 3/6.
Oh no, never mind. Yeah, I'm retarded. Alright, you're.
Wait, did June just throw?
Wait.
Shut up, I'm
No, June, did you just throw?
Say again?
Saying the recenter out, right? For 2 stock.
Oh yeah.
okay. I think June is a little bit tilted, but like basically what it comes down to is he's trying to finish his turn.
Okay.
But how many
Clock
cards are left
and
in deck?
He doesn't have.
He might not have enough cards in deck to get 3 attacks.
He does. I think he does. I think he's 4. Wait, does he have 4? Uh-oh.
Because I'm not sure if there's 3 or 4.
Final turn.
Let's go.
Oh, he's a climax!
No,
Wait,
it's-
no,
it's
it's the
not
wrong one. Never lucky.
Yeah.
But he can still restand with the other one.
Yeah.
Just take the 3, bro.
I'll pull up the other level 3 that he just played. He can
Alright, it's not over yet. Front we tie.
he can pay 3, discard 1 to restand that other one.
3.
Oof.
Poor June said it's not over yet,
4/4.
and then Ian canceled, and now it's like, oh,
Actually, yeah, alright.
Or wait, yeah, you have enough cards.
it's not over yet. You can still trigger.
That's not a 4.
Okay.
If he draws, he's dead. So no draw.
Alright.
He can't
Maybe
finish
Ian's a
anymore.
nice guy. He can scoop
I
it.
think you have a double trigger.
Maybe Ian clocks.
On reverse.
Maybe Ian clocks, right?
Maybe Ian doesn't realize.
Maybe Ian is retarded and he clocks, right?
Oh,
Yikes. Yikes. Yikes.
Cancels.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
okay.
That's
it's doomed.
Ian. That's enough internet bullying for today.
Card in deck, your turn.
That's enough internet bullying for today. Get this over with.
End turn.
Alright.
Turn.
He just has to end turn. Ian does the BM finish by just saying end turn, making June draw the last card and dying to refresh damage.
Yeah, I had one win in hand still, so
Jimmy, are you gonna do the inter?
were chances.
Okay. Slightly
Uh,
worse, 2 to 1.
Sure. Do you have any questions you want to ask? If you have any questions, just go first with your question.
Oh yeah, that's like 3 to 1.
Basically, I'll type it.
This is slightly worse than 2 to 1.
Oh, you're typing it there.
I'll
Okay.
type it to you so you can do it. Give me 1 second. You can start talking to them. I'll post the question.
My only lose condition there was taking 8 straight
Okay, I have
bases,
to
so
Yeah,
my
basically.
volume back.
did cancel with the proper climaxes though.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hey.
That's yeah,
Oh,
that's something. So
This is the first game that ended with an end turn.
Ian,
Hi.
hi. That's true, Ian. I think it's only the only game that's gonna end with the end turn. But okay, Ian. Yeah. Do you want me to ask these questions, Coen?
Yes.
Okay.
We can't hear Kun, by the way, in case it matters.
You have to
Oh,
unmute on
perfect.
Discord. And
Right. Unfortunate loss for June in this game. Yeah, we would like to congratulate Ian to advancing to the next round. For the rest, I would like to ask some questions to June, specifically about this game. One question before before Jimmy actually takes the word is that we've seen you play June in game 3. We've seen you play the anti-change by discarding 2 climaxes.
Yeah.
Would you think it would have been correct if you were to plan to do that turn, right? Wouldn't it be correct to salvage a climax off your pants trigger? And then still do the anti-change, because like that way you might sacrifice 1 climax before going into refresh, but you still have like 1 more card.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. The play there was I was already losing that game, right? I was like in a pretty bad situation. So I basically went for the high roll.
I see.
Which it basically like happened, right? Like the play that I was going for happened exactly as I wanted to, right? That was basically the only way I figured I was gonna catch up. The other option was to just use the anti-change and not discard, and I'll refresh with 6 because I paid out a climax.
Yeah.
That was an option as well. But basically I went for like the high risk is all it is. And then including the not salvaging the climax, and I just wanted to refresh with 8 and then go from there. And like you guys saw exactly like what my plan was. And like the last 3 cards in deck, I knew what they were. So like depending on, I knew one was a Ricky, and then the 1/0 like I can't attack with, right? Ideally, I drew into like one of the level 3s or level 1 so I can clock it and then draw into the Ricky so I can get another card. But unfortunately, I top decked the Ricky, so I couldn't clock that turn because I knew what the last 2 cards, they were unplayables in that situation.
Yeah. I think that's really smart. I mean, it definitely shows you the skill, the player skill in like tracking your own deck cards, because like I feel like this is something not a lot of players do or memorize. So definitely props to that. Jimmy, can you take over and ask the other questions we've had?
Yeah, so basically we have a lot of questions for June. The first one is like, is there a reason why you're seemingly clocking a lot? I think you're clocking even deep into level 2.
Yeah, it depends on the quality of my hand, and milling my deck as well.
Right.
Basically, clocking is like the most efficient way for Batman to generate hand, because stock is like so precious for Batman, right? You could do so much with 1 stock or 2 stock, right? So it's basically I'm like clocking myself to generate a stock in a sense, because I really want the stock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think what I had in mind was that you keep clocking to play really, like what we've seen is like you play really aggressive. So I thought you kept clocking to basically ensure that you have a climax to slam that turn.
That is also another reason, yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, it kind of ties into the next question, because we've seen you play really aggressively with this deck, like aggressively try field early game.
Yes, that is one of the main game plans, is to be aggressive and try field as soon as you can if your hand allows.
So yeah, we just wanted to ask you if you could explain your playstyle with this deck, if this is a feature you think is specific to Batman, like
it's
playing
not
this way
specific
because
to Batman, but Batman can get away with like try fielding, and like you guys seen, especially like game 3, Batman can get away with like a super low resource playstyle, right? So like, but not all other decks can, right? So some decks need time to set up, they need extra stock, they need to mill more, right? Batman like doesn't care about any of that, so it is in the best interest of the Batman player to make the game go as fast as possible.
Right.
Yeah, so you play aggressively, you play climaxes. If I have 2 climaxes in hand, I'll play it at level 0 with the Tri-Field, right? You just want to like always like be aggressive as much as possible and like speed up the game, because Batman can't generate that much stock, right? But your opponent, most matchups generally can. So the longer you take with Batman, the less stock you're gonna have compared to your opponent. But the more you rush it, the more that stock difference is gonna even out. These should no longer be in the deck at this point. It was in the deck originally, but along with the grappling hook, you don't have enough stock to put this. Basically, like, I didn't playtest enough to take this out yet. It was already in the deck, and I put this in, and then like these don't work with this anymore.
I see. Yeah, that's one of the other questions we had. Would you would like to make any changes, because we saw you were leveling them at some point, even?
Yeah. Because these are basically effectively useless. The way, especially the playstyle has changed a little bit. Before it was like kind of a medium play speed, but now it's like super aggressive, right? Changes to the deck would basically be a 4th healer. Let's see here. I can just show you guys. And then where is it? You want a 4th brainstormer.
Right. We did see you in the last game seemingly suffer a little bit because you didn't have the brainstorm, even though you had a decent amount of stock seemingly.
Yeah. Not having the brainstormer hurts a lot, right?
Yeah.
So these 3 come out, right? And then you want to 100% up this to 4, right? And then up this to 4. And then for the 3rd card, you want to up either one of these to 2.
Okay.
That is my recommended changes to the deck. Take out the Quake engine, up 4, and then your choice on these, depending on how much you value it. Yeah, I would probably try the 1-0 at 2 copies before this, because 1-0 can get a lot of value. A lot of people discount the 1-0 counter a lot because it's like, oh, it's a vanilla counter, right? But a lot of the times, unless your opponent is specifically climax comboing with like a ton of power, like Aaron or something like that, right? Like even a 5-5 with the 1-0 counter, 7k, like just beats board if your opponent's not doing the climax combo that turn.
Alright. So
The grappling hook, right?
what are you saying?
It also opens up the grappling hook, right?
Yes, it synergizes with grappling hook. Like if you saw this match, right, there were a lot of times where Ian was like second guessing on whether or not he should front or side with his 1-0 Armin against my like 5-5 because he was 6k, right, and this counter just gets over it.
Right. So what are your overall thoughts about the deck and how it does in the meta, as is?
I think it's very obviously it has like issues like any deck does, right? One of the weaknesses of Batman, again, it's like stock, right? It's super stock hungry, right? So I wish there was a way to generate stock. I tested the deck a long time ago with a stock soul, like an empty stock soul instead of this, and then just run TD burners, right? But that doesn't synergize well, and then this replacing itself helps a lot as well. Grappling hook definitely messes up a lot of people's back row, right? Attack on Titan not so much, but certain matchups like Konosuba, as you guys seen like in game 1, certain decks heavily rely on their back row, and grappling hook helps disrupt that, and then your opponent is now down to like low resources on the same level as Batman, except Batman can like deal with it more effectively.
Yeah, I think we were also talking about that a little bit, that you want to like drag your opponent down into your playstyle, and then you just play your playstyle better.
Because not all decks can handle that, right?
Right. Because you're forcing them to play low resources.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Batman, that's like the main game plan in the first place, right?
I gotta say though that I was pretty afraid of getting this pulled forward and then tap for the 0 power brainstorm.
I saw you super playing around grappling hook all 3 games.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the last question is whether you would recommend the deck to other players, because I think the deck doesn't have the best reputation, but it seems pretty fun to play.
Yeah, it's pretty good. The problem with it is the skill level required is definitely higher than some other decks that are like kind of solitaire. You know, you don't care what your opponent does, you just do whatever you draw into, right? The thing with Batman is that it's very like dependent on what your opponent is playing, how your opponent is playing, and like you interact with your opponent's board and playstyle like a lot. You have to see what your opponent's resources are, right? and then depending on like how you want to effectively use this, right? When to clock, when to mill. So it's a lot harder deck to play than most decks and a lot of most meta decks. So as far as like recommendation, if you're like up for the challenge of being able to pilot it properly, I would recommend it. If you're looking for an easy deck to play, I do not recommend this deck.
Oh no, Joon throwing out the bait. Good players only. Good players only.
I mean, it's what it is, right? This like objectively, this deck requires way more like resource management and interaction with your opponent than like any of the meta decks right now.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I think that's also generally a trend that like it's very hard to pilot like quote unquote worse decks because you just have to manage your resources so carefully.
Yes. You if misplays with this deck, you get punished like a lot. Like game 1, I made a lot of misplays, and like I rightfully lost that game. So yeah, you get punished a lot for misplays.
Mm-hmm. One question that I had. So
You're
you
not
saw
allowed
me
questions.
you saw me side attacking with I don't know into Sengokus that you could have bounced with your JC. Do you think that's correct?
I'm not sure what your question is, other than like side attacking errands. What is about Sengoku?
So like sometimes you would have a Sengoku and a Bat Clan something. Bat Clan Akira on board. And I would reverse your Bat Clan and would side attack into your Sengoku because it would basically transform into like pay 2 plus 2, and then you get
oh, okay. You're asking like how what I think about when you side attack the Sengoku with this on board, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's situational. Like if I do not have another Sengoku in my hand, it's pretty detrimental, right? But if I already have another Sengoku in hand, you're letting me +1 for 0 stock compared to I have to pay a stock to bounce this back.
Yeah,
right?
except that you do have the 2k stock on the board at that point.
Right, but like generally speaking, you're okay with like attacking with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very situational. At level 0, at level 0, it's a coin flip on whether or not Batman will like this being side attacked or not. If this is their only Sengoku, they don't want it. They don't want it on their board. They want it back on in their hand so they can play it again, right? At level 1 and on, chances are they have like resources to get another one or something like that. So probably when the Batman players like level 1 and on, you probably want to like always front this and make them pay the stock because, like I said, stock is super important in this deck.
See.
Okay. We want to move into some chat questions, but the chat questions are basically all meme questions. So, Ian, why are you losing so much? Well, I guess this answered itself. He stopped, I guess. So, we answered this one. And then...
For better content. I love best of threes.
But the better content would be to let Batman win, because we hate AOT.
Yeah, that's true. So that's true. Definitely true.
Here. And how much did UA pay you to throw games to Batman here? And why didn't you take it?
Unlucky. Should have taken it.
So much free money.
Free money.
So back into some actual discussion. Maybe we would like to ask both of you what you think about this matchup specifically. Maybe you can start from Ian.
About this matchup or these matches?
No, about this matchup and these matches, I guess. Why do you think it went according to what you expected?
So I was kind of scared about like getting denied errands by the Batclan of Ida and the Gorilla Grodd.
Yeah.
So, and we did see that happen more or less. Like I only got one reverse most of the times into level 1.
Yeah, I think Joon played pretty well around that, mostly limiting the effect your Wind Climax turns has.
Yeah, and basically after that it's kind of smooth sailing. I just need to play around like grappling hook and basically play around grappling hook by being bigger than whatever his Batman's reach with backup.
Yeah.
And then hope I don't get finished, I guess.
Yeah. Around level 2 game, if you don't play early plays, or like if you don't play early plays, or you get the 2-1 Armin out as the Attack on Titan player, generally they have a better level 2 game, right? Because my anti-change, if you have the 2-1 Armin, doesn't do anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
The worst thing you could do in this matchup as an Attack on Titan player is play an early play without a 2-1 Armin. Then you
Without
just
protection. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, that would be a huge misplay for the Attack on Titan player. I was hoping you play that, but like you never seem to. I assume you were aware of it, so you never fell into that trap, which is good. And at level 1, anytime he doesn't have a climax combo, it's just like I can win board basically with the 1-0 combos. But unfortunately, like half the time I didn't have it, and then like I also drew like 2 of the games. I think drew this like turn 1, and I had to clock it, and I was like super sad because it's very relevant in this matchup if he doesn't have the climax combo.
Yeah, I also continuously ask about the amount of copies of the backup you're out.
Yeah, all the counters, which is that is the correct thing to do as the Attack on Titan player, because it matters a lot whether or not I win board. Because the Attack on Titan player always wants to win board.
Okay. So moving into the closing, is there any shout outs you guys would like to make?
Go ahead.
Oh, what a nice guy.
Just thanks to Mike for inputs on the deck and playtesting again. Other than that, thanks for the people that were interested in watching the Batman games and see how far it went. Thanks for watching, and for the people that want to play, and these are like the additions. I guess you could also put in a second copy or third copy of this instead as well if you don't want the idea. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Ian, do you have any shoutouts?
Not specifically. Mostly thanks, Joon, for participating and like for making great content with your games. It was all so fun to watch. Like really. I think this one as well.
It's extremely interesting for someone to play Batman Ninja. Closing off though, Joon, we'd like to specifically thank you for joining this tournament. You're a big name in our community, and I know you can be quite busy sometimes because you own a store, right? Unfortunately, you're out right now, but I do think you have inspired many people to perhaps pick up the deck. Hopefully, people will stop memeing it or like take the deck a little bit more serious.
We'll have to see, right?
Anyway, closing off the stream, I hope you all enjoyed the stream. We'd like to specifically thank Ian and the crew for hosting this amazing invitational. And also, we'd like to special shout out to NovaTCG for sponsoring this tournament. If you like to buy Japanese singles specifically, please do hit them up. They have an amazing website, and yeah, they're awesome.
And if you want to buy English singles, you can visit JKTCG, of course. There's one last thing I should mention, that is that Ian now will play against the loser of Ryan against Rias, which is also a really high-profile match. And yeah, Ian, how do you feel about losing to one of those?
It's fine to lose against one of those, I guess.
Oh, okay.
I'll try to win though.
No, don't. You don't have to. It's fine.
Okay, I'll just scoop now.
Oh, okay. Can you scoop this match so we can see Batman against those?
Oh, right. That's more interesting, huh?
Yeah. Okay. I think that's it.
That's it.
Yeah. Thanks for the invite and all.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yep. Thanks. See you guys.
Maybe see you in the next one. And
all right. See you guys.
We'll see the viewers tomorrow, I think. Are there more games today?
There's more games today.
Oh, there's more games today. Go, Ian. Go.
Sorry, I don't remember.
Oh my.
I think.
Okay, check out the Facebook page for the next games, and we're up.
All right.